Here we go. Wednesday night, okay? Yeah, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Hopefully, I kind of scrambled a little bit, got everything kind of set up a little bit last minute here. A lot of things going on. This will be our last Wednesday show. We'll be back to Thursdays next week. But boy, I tell you, I always talked about this, especially when we did MNC. You know, it's so much fun behind the scenes. There's a lot that goes on behind a podcast. You know, I mean, I'm sure there's some that just hit go live and go. But it is so difficult sometimes, and I gotta say thank you to the people that are on the panel tonight. Outstanding to have DS back with us, Nib, of course. The great slow-mo backslap is here. J-Dub was just here a minute ago. I don't even know what happened. I don't know. I just wrote Jay. I go, Jay, are you all right? Hopefully Jay's all right. Jay was just with us in the pre-show. So hopefully Jay will be back with us very shortly. And then we do have Gaming Ledger coming with us. Shout out to the great Gaming Forte, who may be joining us second hour as well. And maybe one other surprise later on second hour. We'll see what happens. But I got to say thanks to everybody that's here. I appreciate all the support since we moved the show quickly over to a Wednesday for the last 2 weeks. It means a lot to me that the audience is here. Show's nothing without you guys as well. Please hit that like button. If you'll hit that join button, as you can see, the great slow-mo backslap, 37 months. That's a round of applause right there for the great slow-mo backslap. He says, hit that like button. Please listen to the man. He knows what he's talking about. Okay. Shout out to Ocelot. He says, got my Wolverine PS5 Pro plates and controller. We're going to talk about that, Ocelot, because I think today, I got to say, just like everything else online, a little bit of a confusion here. A lot of things happen today online. A lot of people happy, a lot of people unhappy. I'm kind of in that lukewarm state. So you're going to get a little bit of a rant from me here, and hopefully Jay can come back, because I think me and Jay had the same issue. But without further ado, as you all let people shuffle in and hit that like button, let me introduce this fantastic panel that's here for you guys. We've missed him. You guys have missed him. The great Nib is back with us. Nib, we were sure at some point, Nib, I wanted to let everybody know that you were okay. You were enjoying cigars and poker and just great times with the boys.
T-shirt barbecues. Obviously, because I got the new place. So, you know, I've had a long list of people to get through, to invites and stuff. And one by one, we've just had different groups coming around, basically. Yeah, it's been good. Had all the friends stay around the other day, so it was a whole house full. Kids everywhere. It was good. It was a good time.
I'm glad. Listen, you know what? Everyone is due a phenomenal break, Nib. So I hope you came back rested. And I saw that you were back in action, especially today on X. So when I saw all that action, I said, he's back, baby. He's back. So
I'm not even pulling punches anymore. I'm just like, you know that meme video where the guy just goes around slapping everyone, even the kids. Like,
yes.
That's me these days.
You've had it. Polite Nib is gone, folks. Okay, now you're getting podcast Nib, and that's a rough one. But Nib, great to have you. Honestly, it means the world to me.
Yeah,
As I introduce the other great half of a Death Singer who's back with us as well. He was with us last week. He's back again. Bespoke says Nib and DS are back from couples therapy. It is true. They are both back on the show. A lot of people missed both these guys. DS, great to have you back, buddy. Glad you're feeling well. And I know you're gaming, so that's for sure. And buddy, it's good to have the team back together. How you doing tonight, DS?
Oh, I'm doing great. Just got home from hospital. If anyone didn't know, if you weren't checking in on Twitter, I went into hospital for 2 weeks and now I'm back. And I come back to all this nonsense on Twitter. We got PlayStation.
There it is.
I admire that they are goated when it comes to single player, but for the love of everything that is holy in this world, stop trying to do live service. You are fucking garbage at it. Just cease and desist. I am going to write a strongly worded letter to Herman. Just please fucking stop and do what you're good at. Thank you.
DS, maybe they could use a little bit of your help. Maybe that is true. I think after all these years of knowing you, they could probably use you in the executive branch. Great to have you back with us, DS.
Look, even the PlayStation fans have been saying it, though, right? How long have we been saying, look, we don't want live service emphasis. We want single-player tempo stuff,
exactly.
Right? That's the bread and butter. That's what, if you look at, like, a majority of PlayStation fans, right, and even fanboys, it isn't the live service stuff that got them into this platform or heavily invested in it. It's a lot of the kind of cinematic and well-written or those kind of games, right? And it's just, it's such a weird thing that, I would say beforehand, I didn't really care so much that they were trialing live service as long as it was these tertiary studios. Because a lot of the live service projects were like new studios that had never made a game before or never made a game for PlayStation. Fine. But when I don't know if this is the first subject or not.
Well, I mean,
anyway, let's just go through this.
Yeah, we'll get through. I wanted to talk about some of the other things real quick, Nick, but honestly, that is going to be a big topic tonight, so don't you worry about that. The great Slow-Mo Backslap is back on the show. Slow-Mo, great to have you here. And let me give a quick shout out to Slow-Mo and Forte on DPS Podcast. They do Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. I know that they've had a bit of scheduling, like I've had issues too these past weeks. They've been kind of moving around. It's tough when you're doing that. But Slow-Mo answered the call. I also spoke with Forte earlier today. He says he may be joining us second hour. That's very exciting to get both these guys on the show at the same time. But Slow-Mo, welcome back to the show, buddy. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on short notice. How you doing this evening?
I'm pretty good. It's been a little bit of a busy day, but I can't complain. It's good to be back. I know I can't make it as often as I would like to, but I'm here. I'm here to discuss these topics and in regards to what you talk about. You guys talk about. I think it's going to be a little bit of a lively debate about the whole live service thing, because I'm not really of a mind that they should not do it. I just think you should just do it well. If you're not doing it well, fire the dummies that you got running stuff that are not doing it well.
I agree with that.
Why the hell are you still making Horizon games that aren't a main Horizon game?
Right.
I'm sick and tired of big ass head Herman Hulst out here pushing his own IP like it's the only thing. Look, yes, Horizon games have sold well, the main ones. But do we need 5 different 100 versions of different genres of Horizon? No, we don't. Stop coming out with Horizon crap. Nobody wants it. They just want a mainline Horizon game. Stop making them them. And if his big head behind can't figure it out, replace the big head bastard with someone that actually can get the job done. He is literally PlayStation's Matt Booty.
There it is. Wow, Slow-Mo, you went off right there.
Stop making Horizon games. And he clearly don't know what he's doing on live service. You hired the bastard when y'all was trying to do live service. So he the only one that's left. He's the last of the Mohicans. Kill this dude, politically, not literally, but kill him in the sense of his employment at Sony. And get somebody in there that can actually get the job done. They make the kind of games you're good at making, and also get you off the ground on live service. You got one good live service game, and you actually attempted to do 12. How are you 1 for 12 in any frame of reference in any way, shape, or form? That's abysmal. You need to go, bro. Get up out of here.
Yeah.
Here's the box.
Yeah.
Put your crap in it.
I agree. I'll also add, I also think, I know Horizon 3 will be the next game. At least that's what's been reported after, this live service one.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually don't think it should be. Like, it's not like how it was back in the day where you get a sequel every 2-3 years, right? Now, like, between Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon 3, it's going to be well over a decade, right? And, we've had 2 games. It's taken a better part of, nearly a decade in between. I think when you have that kind of scope and of time between games, so people are waiting so long, you don't do a third. You do what Naughty Dog does. You throw in a different IP or something else in between. Even Insomniac as well with Rift Apart, right? You throw something else in between just to break it apart, to remove the sense of fatigue, etc., cleanse the palate a bit, and then you release your, the third one in that. At least that's what I would prefer, rather than just 3 fucking, Horizon games in a row.
Yeah, I also don't like that Guerrilla is doing the Hunter's Gathering garbage that you're rebooting. Like, they should have been making Horizon 3, and then you outsource that to someone who actually has done that kind of game before. Like, you get people who've done it before, unless you really got like a super goated studio that can just literally do anything. But it's like only a handful of studios that are actually like on that level. Like, so you got Guerrilla, like you're really kind of delaying the actual Horizon game that would sell, because they're busy making this guaranteed to fail garbage, right? And then once that fails, after you've rebooted it, you should have just canceled it, but you rebooted it, right? So it's going to fail next year. Great. So when it fails next year, you've just pushed the Horizon 3 game further down the line. You're just kicking the bucket further down the street, and it's just like, bro, get somebody in here who knows what they're doing. That's all I'm saying.
I was going to say, Mooch, he's kind of touched on it. It's what I was going to say before, is it's not so bad when it's studios that, have basically been built or bought just for live service. But now, like, we know now that majority, well, according to Jason Schreier anyway, who's, has an amazing track record, the majority of Naughty Dog was working on Last of Us Online, right?
Mm-hmm.
He actually said in his video, he reckons Intergalactic would have come out a year or 2 earlier had it not been for Last of Us Online.
Yes.
Also with Hunter's Gathering, that even though they are a 2-studio, outfit, it is taking some of the resources and manpower and time away, right? Only now are they scaling it down because it hasn't worked out. We also know, even with Santa Monica, yes, they have God of War Laufey coming out, but imagine if instead of Bluepoint, who was basically like a sacrificial lamb, if instead of Bluepoint working on that God of War live service game, it was Santa Monica, right? I know they helped out on it, but imagine they were solely working on that live service game. God of War Laufey would have probably been coming out later as well, right? So now it's got to a stage where actually these live service projects are impeding the stuff that we enjoy and love, right? So that's when, something... Already I was complaining, for years I've been complaining about the mismanagement of the live service stuff, but now it's like, it's encroaching on everything else, and I do think Herman Holster's got to go, man.
Well,
and I know I'm being mean, but let me just say this real quick thing. It's all about accountability. Like, it's just like, I'm pretty sure he's a nice guy, but like when
I agree.
And we all do this in our jobs. If we're not delivering, we're going to be out of a job.
That's
it's
right.
Like Phil Spencer. Who cares if they're a nice guy? It doesn't matter, literally.
Exactly. It doesn't matter that you're a nice guy. You failed at your job, and it's time to go and get someone in here who can actually do the job correctly. That's all.
Did he fail hang on, J-Dub. Also,
what you mean with Herman? I would say yeah. Okay, so he got hired at a time where they were pushing live service hard.
Yeah, 2009.
He got hired. Yeah,
he's been head of PlayStation Studios 2019.
To replace Jim Ryan, right? And so he was the head of it all, and then they decided to make Machino or whatever the head over him. At some point, his responsibility is over it all, whether it's the failed live service games or the successful Spider-Man, God of War, or in all these other games that first party games that's on. He's over it all. So that's why I question. Is he really a failure? Yeah, he could be failure at live service games, but if he's still making the company money, if the company's still making money and it's still putting out great IPs and I mean they've already said they're making more money than they've ever made in any generation. So that's why when you say failure, we have to say he's failed at something directly and not of it all.
That's a good point, Jay.
Failing at everything would kind of be like Phil Spencer, right? With the position he was in, where software failed, subscriptions failed,
hardware
failed,
failed,
right? That's tangible. I mean, Herman Hulse is in charge of successful hardware.
If you compare someone who's mediocre at their job to somebody who is terrible at their job, they're always going to look great.
But the only comparison,
well, you're better than Phil Spencer and Matt Booty. That doesn't mean you should keep your job. Because everybody's
that's not what I. No, that's not what I. Okay,
but Jay, you know.
The only reason I said that is to quantify when you say failure. What do you mean by that? Because when you're the CEO of something or when you're the president of something, it's the collective, and it's not, like for example, Slow-Mo, at your job, you can do, I don't know what you do, but you can be excellent in 5 different areas, but you can be failing in one particular area. Does that make you a failure? Probably not, right? It's the collective.
It would depend on what that one particular area.
The only thing I would say, Joe,
exactly.
The only thing I would say is I think part of his success is actually predicated on 2 things, right? One, the talent of their first party studios, right? They're lucky they've got Insomniac. I mean, I wouldn't say lucky, but yeah, they've made good decisions in the past. Yeah, because the fact that they've got Insomniac and all these other studios and Santa Monica, etc., they're putting out bangers that has kind of saved their skin, right? And 2, I would say they're also fortunate that for some unbeknownst reason, Xbox is not happy with PlayStation holding L's, and they've always got to top them somehow. It is really quite fascinating how they can't have PlayStation keep the limelight of shit, right? They're like, oh, they're fucking up over there, let's fuck up more. And I've said again and again, this particular generation was actually the generation that Xbox could have made a difference, because you had stock shortages. PlayStation actually didn't have big titles until November 2022 or early 2022, but even then the stock was not available, right? So it doesn't matter if you have GT7 and Horizon if nobody can buy a PS5. Not till November 2022 through to the beginning of 2023 did they finally start getting stock, right? And in all that time, what did Xbox release? Basically fuck all. Even now to this day, they haven't really released anything that's notable, has casual impact besides Forza Horizon 6, I would say. And obviously that is going to be more platform as well. So yeah, it's a weird one. I think those 2 things have helped them. The fact that one, Xbox has performed much worse and basically diluted their brand with all the Game Pass stuff, PC Day, etc. To the talent of their first party studios.
Also, bear in mind, Herman Hulse is he definitely deserves to go, because as much as you can see, the buck stops with him. He's the head of PlayStation Studios. He greenlights projects. He could have shut down projects sooner. He could have managed. It's like the management of PlayStation this generation has been diabolically dog shit. That is Xbox leadership has been trash, but this generation PlayStation leadership for them, Jim Ryan was trash. Herman Hulse has been trash. And you think about it, right? It's like you let Naughty Dog would spend all those years on that, and then get Bungie, who fucked up, to can that project, even though Bungie then would go on to colossally fuck up itself, which is hilarious that they told them to cancel it, even though they would dog shit themselves. But
wasn't that Jim Ryan's purchase?
Yeah.
That's still Jim Ryan.
That's still Jim Ryan, but he could still make a choice whether to can this shit or move on to something else years before. You don't let him spend several years working on it and then eventually turn around and go, no.
Well, hold on. Wasn't the deal that Bungie was going to remain independent until they failed their Matrix? And then once they failed their Matrix, then Sony could come in and take over and do all that? That took some years. For Bungie to fail to do that, and then they failed, and now Sony is winning and taking over.
Then you also have to think about like remix specialists,
failing.
but then you also have to remember like Blue Point was shuttered after wasting all that time working on the online God of War game. Then they couldn't find another project to settle on, and then boom, they were gone. Right now, that was their choice to shut down Blue Point. They didn't have to do that, but Herman Holst at the time was the head of studios, and he made the choice to get rid of him. Right, and then Ben's studio. Where the fuck have they been? They ain't done shit. Days gone in 2017.
Media Molecule.
Like, where the fuck are half the studio?
What
Half the
does
studios ain't
Media
released.
Molecule do?
Little big.
Nobody knows.
Right? Or was it Dreams? It was Dreams, right? Yeah.
I
know they made Dreams.
I need to go and check
what
it
they
out.
right now?
Either way, Ben ain't done shit since 2017, right? So where the fuck are they? And then where's all this management of your great studios? Because Ben shouldn't be this long without a game, right? And then Hulst, then, okay, yeah, sure, you could grant him a Sobi becoming Game of the Year, but then at the cost of Japan Studio, which is another choice. And then, of course, you have Concord, which he said was going to be the next big pillar of PlayStation.
But nobody
bought. That's not official.
Nobody bought.
I know that's not official, but
an insider said that. I don't know if I believe it.
But I mean, Concord is like the most embarrassing release in Sony's entire history. Let's be real. Like, and he also signed off on that. And then you have Fair Games of 4Loop, which, let's be honest, they either won't come out or they're probably not going to do very well. Let's be real about it. And then you have Bungie, which that's a thing, and Hulst is sat above all of this. He's the head of all this. He's in charge of all this, and all this is going on under his nose, and you're not going to put the blame at his feet.
Yeah, I would just say, because I know Eric.
You got to hear what I said. I said we have what you just said. That was the whole purpose of me saying that. We have to say what he failed in, because it's the collect. I think Sony view it as the collective. Right? It's like, okay, yeah, this guy is failing at the live service games, right? He's failing at that, but he's succeeding in all of these other areas. That's the only reason I brought that up. Is he really failing to Sony? He could be failing to us, the gamers, how fickle we are and how picky we are, but is he maybe Nishino and Hiroki Totoki don't see him as failing?
I think the amount of money that's gone wasted on these live projects, because yes, I know they're doing really well and they're making money hand over fist, but imagine how much more money they would be making if they hadn't had the 8 live service cancellations.
And
that's the thing.
Bulk of that revenue that they're doing so well at is not their own games.
Exactly.
It's the fact that they have a massive platform, and all those other live service games made by other people, not them, they're collecting 30% off of all of that. And it's a S ton of money. That's why they're doing so great. They wish they could get 100% of that, which is one of their own games being that damn successful. But that's why it's more important.
Which is what they're trying. That's why that's
what I'm saying. So
doing abysmally bad.
Doing abysmally bad. Maybe they have faith in Herman. I have no idea why they would have faith in Herman to deliver on that in particular. I'm just saying that, look, I think your studios are good enough that even without Herman, they'll be fine.
Right.
So go get someone that can do the bare minimum that's already being done, and then give you what the other stuff.
But Slow-Mo, can I ask you a question? Slow-Mo, we've seen a lot since we've been podcasting. Forget about just how long you've been paying attention to this, even years before you picked up the microphone. Hear me out for a second. Sometimes the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. We've seen a lot of people come in after others leave. The only reason, and I'm not saying you're wrong, by the way. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying to you that not necessarily the next person up that they go find is going to be better. And I mean, I don't want to just point to Xbox. Xbox has had a hard time finding that next person, right? Everyone didn't like Donnie D. Then Phil was a savior. Now he's not. Now Asha's a savior until she's not, right? It's like there's a lot of things out there. Matt Booty. No one likes Matt Booty on the Xbox. And when I say nobody, I don't mean everybody. Don't speak in absolutes. But majority of people think a lot of the guilt is on him, right? So I'm not saying that Herman probably shouldn't catch some of this brunt, but a lot of this is the hangover of Jim Ryan. So these games are 3, 4, 5 years into development, right? It takes a long time. Go ahead, Slow-Mo.
Mooch,
Yeah, but they shouldn't have been, should they?
Would you stay in a bad relationship because the next one might be worse?
No, absolutely not. Right. So I didn't say that's where you make a great point. Yeah. But let's put it this way. You know,
you just slow-mo. You just explained maybe 50% of marriages out there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. However, slow-mo, you do realize that the odds do say that there could be worse out there, right?
This show, Jake. I hope this feel doesn't work. You know, Mrs. J-Dub, like, bring it in the comments, like.
We could have a whole different show about that, and I'm glad Mrs. Backslap.
Well, I won't let her watch this episode.
Yeah, yes. The one thing that I heard you guys touch on that I think is important here is the amount of dedication, time, and money in these award-winning studios that went towards these live services that took away from their single player. And DS said this when we started this discussion. He said, get back to what you're good at. Now, the problem is everybody's been, since 2020, right? The Fortnite money, the Warzone money, the Apex money that's out there, a bunch of the other ones, Tarkov. These live service types of games, they saw that money and they said, we have to go for it, right? Now, Sony went hey, we'll do it ourselves. And Jay, we were talking about it earlier. Helldivers 2, GT7. Yep. There's a couple out there that have hit, right? But hear me out. Most of them have faltered. The thing with Xbox, Xbox was like, we want to get in on that too. Now, remember, everyone always compares PlayStation and Xbox, and as they should, as platform versus platform. But you're talking trillions of dollars versus hundreds of billions of dollars. It's not the same world. So Xbox was like, we want to play in that world too. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll just go buy that one, which is great, by the way. Yeah. Good for them. Good for them. But Sony was like, well, we can't buy them. I can't buy them, so we have to try to make them. And they felt kind of on their face in certain regards with like Concord and of course what we found out with The Last of Us Online. Which, by the way, has anybody else like feel like if they just launched The Last of Us Online, it might have actually worked? It might have actually been the one that worked.
Yeah, I think so.
I do too.
Even if it wasn't some long project, even if it was just
Here's the $1 million question with that. It could have been successful for a period of time, but with them doing that, they said they wouldn't have been able to give us an intergalactic or a new Uncharted or any of those single player story driven games. Those would have been DOA going forward because they would have, and essentially, they would have basically turned into a full live service studio, whereas all they're going to do is just support that one game. Okay, we know a lot of live service games come and it's all this excitement and people play it for 2 or 3 months, 4 or 5, 6 months, and then after that they move on to something else, and then that game dead, and then the studio closed down. I wouldn't want that. That's why
it shouldn't have been the super ambitious live service thing. It should have just been more of what the first game was. You know?
Well, exactly. But if you notice, even throughout the industry, you notice they've gotten away from those regular multiplayer games that's kind of baked into they've gotten away from that. It's either live service or it's nothing. You don't get those games now that just have multiplayer and it's just, you play with your friends if you want to. It's like, no, they go balls to the wall live service or they don't.
I think Ghost of Yotei and Ghost of Tsushima is a good example of, because the thing is, especially with physical games, right? You ideally don't want people to resell. You don't want them to trade it in or whatever, right? You want them to keep hold of that copy. And I think that model works well. And even GT7, I know it's a live service game, but it's more the post content because Ghost of Yotei Legends, comes out and suddenly...
Which is free, by the way. Which is
free, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, okay, if you can't get it out at launch, just bring it out later and let people hold on to this copy of the game and then have something else to invest in.
I think what happened...
I wish we could go back to multiplayer that didn't have to be live service because...
100%.
And maybe I'm just old, but like, I enjoy
it's a money thing.
Experience.
You know that.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's a money thing.
It's not going to make as much money, so it's not as valued, but... it's the difference between how gamers care about fun, but the industry cares about money, and so It is what it is. You got to try to find that balance somewhere. And I understand that, like, that's what all these publishers and platforms are shooting for. They all want a live service bag that can essentially fund all their other endeavors, fund all their creative stuff, fund, even the big AAA experiences, because it makes that much money. You look at Epic Games. Epic Games came from just a regular developer to now a platform and publisher, all off the strength of Fortnite revenue. And that's what everyone else looks at and says, I want that
I
too.
want that. Yep.
I want that. But it's hard to achieve that. That's not like, that's organic growth to get to that point. And even then, if you look at it, like, not everybody plays Fortnite. Some people play Minecraft. Some people play Roblox, even though, you probably shouldn't, because it's a playground for pedophiles, but, whatever, right?
That's right. That's right.
There's so many different things that people play, and it's, and all these platforms want at least one or two of them. Because it's just,
do you know what? The only thing I would caution against
Xbox is really out here right now. The only reason why I think Microsoft hasn't shut down Xbox is because of Minecraft and World of Warcraft and what does King do? Candy Crush?
Candy Crush.
Yeah. Those three things basically give them a lot of bulk of their first party revenue. And if it wasn't for that, they would just straight up be a platform at this point, or just straight third-party publisher.
You also have to remember, PlayStation put themselves in this position, right? Because PS3, they had a bunch of great multiplayer games, right? They were making all the kill zones, the resistances. You had Mag, you had Hawk.
But DS, those they didn't do well at all.
It all failed. But then they went first party, right? And then they mastered the strategy in the PS4. Whereas you make single player games, you let Call of Duty, Fortnite, and GTA, you let them do the work of multiplayer. You make great first party games, and then when you don't have too many, you go buy some timed exclusives, which they were mastered at. They were like, right, let's get this quality timed exclusive, and they did that throughout the PS4. They had perfect single party. And when they didn't have any games, they were like, let's get Final Fantasy VII Remake. Let's get this game. Let's get that game. Let's get them exclusive because we could do that because we're the leader. And then they mastered that. And then
but they still do that. They still do that, though.
Yeah. But now they're trying to chase the bag.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
The CFO talked about it. The CFO talked about it. They said that, it's the recurring revenue that comes in from those live service games. So when you're in those times, remember, we just heard this big rant about, it takes so long to drop these first party games, these single player games. It takes so long, 4 or 5 years, 6 years. And if you have an issue, then that's just, more time that it's being delayed. And so with that being said, it's like, okay, well, live service games would be able to fill in that revenue and that time and stuff like that. Is
ongoing.
I think the caution though, right, is because I guess it's a greed thing, right? It's like, okay, we're making money hand over fist from third parties who've got the live service covered, but we want the first party side, right? But the problem is when it starts encroaching into your first party bread and butter. Because remember, it's the first party single player games that bring people to the platform, right? To begin with, right?
Yes.
So if you slow down the cadence of that, maybe next gen people won't be as quick to rush into PlayStation as their primary platform, right? Because it's like, okay, hold on. Maybe the PS4 gen and end of PS3 gen, they were like bringing all these first party bangers out one after the other. But PS5 gen, I'm not feeling it in the same way, right? If you look at the, like the sales charts and stuff, it's Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2, and God of War Ragnarok. They're the big three, right? The biggest sellers. They're in the top 10 best-selling PS5 games ever.
Wait. You're forgetting GT7, which is the
no. But GT7 and Horizon, etc., they're not in the top 10 sales. So Spider-Man 2 is number 2. God of War Ragnarok is number 7, and Miles Morales is number 8. So those are actually the biggest system sellers that PlayStation has. But the thing is, like, imagine they don't have that to lean on in the next gen, right? And they've put more emphasis on the live service, which is slowing down the first party sales. Well, if they don't have a Last of Us this year. They don't have an Uncharted this year, right? They're lucky they had Spider-Man, but what if Insomniac's Spider-Man 3 is quite a way off, or it doesn't hit in the same way, you know?
And that's
so they
why,
need to be careful.
And that's when they leaned on, just like what Singer said, they buy the timed exclusives and stuff like that. That's how we end up with Phantom Blade Zero. That's how we, I'm just.
But which one has the casual appeal of a Last of Us or a Spider-Man though?
None of them do, honestly.
Probably,
like those
none
those
of
kind
them do.
of.
That's
Yeah,
what
those
I'm saying.
third-party
Because
experiences
if they
are
haven't
good
bought into
quality,
Insomniac,
but they're not going to get this kind of sales that Spider-Man is going to get.
Yeah,
exactly.
They were
That's
never
what I mean.
gonna.
Right.
Yeah, they're never.
But
Here's the thing: it only takes for one of those live service games, right, to show up, be successful, and bring in the consistent amount of revenue every single month, every single day, every single week to make up for that.
yeah, I mean, I see where you're
then-
going
but
with
then
that.
30% of
I'm just telling you why they do
What they
why
do.
they may do.
Yeah.
Here's the question.
but Jay,
Did all they
30%
have-
of 10 bangers, live service bangers, is still better than 100% of one live service banger.
Also, you also
but
have to
that 30% isn't going anywhere. That's perpetual. Right?
Also,
Well,
you
it
have to
might
remember.
if your first party don't draw people in anymore.
No, listen.
But you also got to think
the
about
amount of
like
money.
investors
the
care
amount of
about
money that
year
they're
over
gonna-
year growth.
Yeah.
So when
Yes,
you're already
yes.
getting that Call of Duty
Yeah.
bag and all the bag from all the other 30%, revenue that
Yeah.
you're generating off of that stuff, like that,
You can't count that
that's
over
not
again.
helping you on that year over year growth. What you
Exactly.
need is your own stuff that actually
Yes.
kind of catapults you even further. This is why they will never stop trying to
Yeah.
do live service and
Yeah.
get one that actually hits.
But
They
Because-
know they got Fortnite. They know they got Call
They
of Duty.
always
They know
have
they got all
Yeah.
that stuff is already factored into them just being in business. They already have that, right? That pays the bills. That keeps the lights on. It's
I don't know. I think it's complacent to think they will always be the dominant because gaming shows that it can ebb and flow between.
Yes, right.
But Nib, here's the thing. You're right, but it doesn't matter what new game that people go to, what new live service games that the next banger. It's
Mhm.
going to be.
I mean, if
most
PlayStation
on
is
PlayStation.
going to be the main platform,
Yeah.
because hardware differences are going to shrink over time, right? We don't know what the Nintendo's next system is going to be, and
Yeah,
whether
but
in
let's
real world
face
terms.
it, man, nobody's. Let's face it. I mean, we can all admit it. It doesn't matter.
I would say Xbox next gen, but I don't think they're going to.
Why are we even entertaining this?
I'll say this: the way next gen looks, the way next gen looks.
Yeah.
A lot of people, like for this whole entire generation, half of the communities for Xbox and PlayStation stayed on last gen.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
look at that for next gen. You're gonna see an even bigger percentage staying on what is current gen right now,
Slow-mo.
than going over the next gen.
Slow-mo.
When those consoles are gonna be like $1,000. Nah, look, it's just not.
Slow-mo,
That's not what.
It was
people
funny because you said something.
anticipate consoles to cost.
You said something
Go ahead.
interesting right there, Slow-mo. And we had B Money on last week. And I know when B said it, I think a lot of people in the audience were like, no way, no. What's he talking? But B, we asked him a question, and I'm
always right, man.
B, but I was just going to say, listen, Slow-mo, you've known B way longer than I have, and you know his track record. He speaks quietly, but when he speaks, people should listen. He said something that was interesting, and he didn't say it as a matter of fact. He was giving his opinion, but he said, you're all forgetting when we were talking about the physical disc issue that was going on and going all digital. And he said, let's not forget, he's like, PlayStation had, if they go back to what they originally, the way things were, and you guys remember this, everyone in the audience remembers this, there was a little bit of that back and pat with PS3, the first PS3 fat, but then they dropped that quick. And then when PS3 to PS4, well, you were on your own, right? Your PS3 games didn't come with you. They still didn't. Now, you can stream some of those through the premium, package with PS Plus. He was like, you know what? Sony might just be saying, hey, this is the way we're going to do things. So I thought that was an interesting take when he said, don't think just because this is the way it is now. And that's the reason you're going, Mooch, where'd you come up with this thought? When you said basically everyone was still stuck in last generation. If PlayStation moves in a certain direction, or the gaming market, right? Everyone's just saying PlayStation, but if Xbox, PlayStation start to go in that direction where you're going to have to upgrade to play these games, well, that's a situation where we used to be in. This generation broke that mold unbelievably, right? Where you saw people holding on to PS4s and Xbox Ones up until 2023, 2024. Let's be honest. Call of Duty's first this generation is this year.
They're half of the player base for both those platforms are just getting off of
Xbox
Ones and PS4s this year.
This year.
And why is it happening? Because GTA 6 is not coming there. Call of Duty is dropping.
That's right.
Fortnite eventually is going to drop it. You're not getting content. Madden and all the EA Sports and your 2K games, they're going to drop last gen. Those people have no choice. That's all they cared about, right? Like, and we look at it like, man, those are just people buying like 1 or 2 games a year. What big deal? I buy like 12 games a year. I'm worth more to the platform. Are you though? Because when someone plays 2K, they're buying the $100 edition of the game, and then they're spending hundreds of dollars on VC to get their character good enough to not get dogged on the playground. They're spending hundreds of dollars on one game. Are you doing that? Like when it comes to Madden, there are people who are doing Ultimate Team, and they're doing these Ultimate Team seasons, multiples of them, where they're spending more money on all kinds of crap I don't understand.
I don't
all in one game. Are you doing that on one game? Because this is what, like, that's what they care about.
That's what they care about. That's what they're going for. Yeah,
PlayStation
to get rid of last gen until they knew for certain people would go over to current gen. Take all of that happened this generation and increase it even further, because now you have the added issue of everything costing way too much. And even if people could upgrade, they may not just be able to afford it, because not everybody is J-Dub and rich and can just buy $1,000.
Jay's like what I do.
I agree though, but I would just ask Slow-Mo, what do you think brought those people to PlayStation instead of an Xbox or PC? Or Switch, please.
You said what would force people to an Xbox or over a PlayStation?
As in what brought to play Madden and 2K and all of the other games to the PS4 or PS5 to begin with?
Well, that's a loaded question, Nip, because I know you're looking for the single-player games as the answer, but I will tell you, especially when you're talking about the PS4, you have to remember the marketing catastrophe that happened, unfortunately, with the Xbox One, the DRM. People just gravitated because they left the 360. PS4 grabbed a lot of. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Yes. Player studies, right?
At the end of the day, it's the games.
Conducted.
Yes.
The number one reason was exclusives.
Exclusive games.
Exclusive.
Yeah, absolutely.
CMA study.
I can't hear anyone. I'm going to drop out and come back in.
Okay. By the way, just a quick notion here, Nib, just before you finish your thought, and I don't want to ruin your thought. A lot of people were asking. I think it's Discord. People are asking, why is everybody's volumes different? Right now, I have everybody at 100% on Discord, which is the normal. And everything, I even brought the equalizer down on Streamlabs down to 90%. So I'm sorry if you guys are hearing a bit of a difference in volume. Everybody here on my side is equal. This happens every once in a while where Discord, remember last week was YouTube was giving me a hard time with a few things. This week it's Discord. Maybe it's a me problem. I don't think so. This happens. And like I said, now YouTube's great this week. It's working great. And even the notifications all went out this week, which is a miracle. And I'll get to the super chats in a minute, guys, because you are asking some great questions. And Eric, the producer, kind of has an in-game little game set up here for the panel. I'm going to ask them in a minute. But go ahead, Nib. I apologize. I want to explain to everybody that the sounds may be off a little. If it is, I promise you on my side, this looks like week to week. It is just a Discord thing, I believe. Go ahead, Nib.
Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, all I was going to say is, again, CMAs during the competition, Activision acquisition, when they asked the top 2 reasons people bought a console was for Call of Duty, but then obviously Call of Duty is on both platforms. The number 1 differentiating reason was exclusives again, right? So that's like 2 different studies, one on the European side of the pond, one on the American. Both had the same answer, that exclusives were the reason that they invested in the platform, even though the majority of the games that they play are not actually first party. So you only need like a handful, 1 or 2 big exclusives to bring you over to this platform, and then you play all the multi-platform stuff, right? And again, we know that because we have the sales charts, right? Spider-Man 2 is the number 2 best-selling game on PS5 of all time, right? But the interesting thing about it being number 2 is that that is not with bundles included. And actually, Spider-Man 2 has a huge number of bundled sales because people bought PS5s for Spider-Man 2. So I actually think with bundled sales, Spider-Man 2 might actually be the best-selling PS5 game of all time. That's out of 4,737 games. Spider-Man 2 is potentially the top 1 or 2 best-selling, and same with God of War Ragnarok, Miles Morales. So all I'm saying is, yes, all the rest of it is important, but I think unless they have those like tentpole, again, it doesn't matter, not the 20, 30 of them. I just mean they just need a handful that have that casual zeitgeist draw, and that will be enough for them to sustain this.
So, hey, Nib, I got a question for you. And it kind of pertains to next generation with PS6. So, like, I agree with you. I agree with you what you're saying about that. What differentiates it is the exclusives, and when people will look, I can play the same game on an Xbox or a PlayStation, but I can't play God of War on an Xbox.
Exactly, yeah.
Therefore, I go ahead and get a PlayStation. Like, I get that, right? But when we come into next generation, and the consoles are now like double the price that they were, last generation, and I'm wondering if PlayStation, if PlayStation will look at next generation, and of course we already heard that like they don't know when they're going to release it, which I think is smart, like to kind of like watch the market and see if things change.
Yeah.
You can actually release it cheaper once we hang all these actually 3 companies in particular that's causing this price gouging collusion. But if you can't do that and that doesn't change, I wonder if they'll just be cross generation for their first party until you can actually.
I think so. Also because they have the PS5 handheld, right? So basically, and it's the thing I hate, right? And I know loads of people are interested in it. Personally, like, it's weird because gaming is leaving my preferences behind. I just have to come to terms with the fact that whether it's on cross-gen, whether it's on lower powered hardware holding back higher power hardware, whether it's on physical games, basically I'm a dinosaur. I'm being left in the dust, right? And I can cry and bitch and moan, but at the end of the day, I'm interested in the hobby for the games first and foremost, right? Not for all the other things. Like, it's not the physical and the digital that makes me love fucking God of War Ragnarok, right? It doesn't actually matter. I'm there for the games. That's my hobby. That's what I love. It's the same way fucking reason I go to IMAX to watch, Odyssey or whatever, right?
Right.
So even though I don't like the way things are trending, at the end of the day, like I said, it's the games first and foremost. But yeah, to your point, all I was saying is because next gen is going to be out of reach of so many people, I think that's where, if Xbox do have, I don't think they will, so it's a kind of pointless conversation, but if they did have banger tentpole exclusives, like let's just say by miracle they managed to string out a bunch of them, right, that had Game of the Year winning appeal and mass market appeal, then those PS4 owners that haven't migrated over to PS5 or wouldn't be able to afford PS6, I think there is a chance they might say, okay, well, Call of Duty, Fortnite, it's all cross-gen and it's all cross-save and it's all, I can take over all my purchases and stuff, right? Maybe I might consider an Xbox, actually, even if it's not the new one, it might be, either a PC hybrid or maybe I'll just get an Xbox Series X or whatever. I'm not saying it's likely, obviously it's extremely unlikely because Xbox is Xbox, but I'm just saying you can never be too complacent.
Well, I got a couple of super chats here. Go ahead, Diaz.
There's something I've been wanting to add. I appreciate PlayStation trying to go after the live service thing, but I was speaking to Blaze and Jack about this, and they both agree. They don't have the talent to make the multiplayer anymore. They lost that spark. Now they're just really good at making single-player games, and they're really fucking good at it. But when it comes to making multiplayer games, they just don't have the ability or the talent to do it.
Well, I mean, so I'm glad you said that. Let me piggyback your thought right there, DS, because the one thing that I thought was interesting, if PlayStation wanted to go after all of this, they wanted to do the Horizon thing, and they wanted to go ahead and do Concord, which Concord, they actually did do this. The other ones, they used first-party studios, and they've canceled the games, right? Last of Us, they canceled the one with Blue Point. They canceled the one with Bend. So hear me out. I don't know why they took from their bread and butter and did that. If they had an idea to work parallel with some of these teams on their IP, buy a smaller team. Let them come in and work, with that IP. Work. I'm just using an example here. The Horizon game that's being rebooted. Have a third party that you went and bought that's very competent, very good, and have them work alongside in their history. Their pedigree has to be multiplayer games. They do that while you have like even a Bungie, if you would. But don't take Guerrilla Games, don't take Ben, don't take Insomniac, don't take these big Naughty Dog, and have them come off of, like you guys are saying, their bread and butter first person games, single player games. Don't take that away from us, the gamers, and them from their wheelhouse. That's the one thing I didn't understand. They tried it with Concord, but remember, Concord's not exactly a full story there. That game was probably 3/4 of the way done when that company was purchased. They thought they could maybe go in, swoop in, pick this up, throw it out there, and it's a multiplayer game that people could enjoy. They didn't think they were going to get the backlash and the results they did. So I agree with you there, DS. It's not that I think that they stink at multiplayer games. It's like taking your primary 3-star Michelin chef and then telling him to go make a pastry. It's not that the guy can't cook. It's just that he doesn't make a puff pastry. You know what I mean? So,
but here's the thing that's where we came up with the talent scenario, because we were like, they are incredibly good at making single player games. They are elite at making that type of game. When it comes to multiplayer, these studios don't have a clue anymore. And that's why they end up in the position they're in. And yes, they do bring in smaller teams. Like Deviation was a bunch of Call of Duty veterans. Like that was a crack team of guaranteed these guys know what the fuck they're doing. And we saw what happened to that, right? It doesn't matter about these teams. It's like, do you have the ability to produce a game? Like I fear for Fair Games. I think Fair Games is going to close. Personally, I think that ain't coming out. But it's like, the thing is, you have all these teams, like asking Bend to make a live service game, or asking Blue Point to make a live service game, which is fucking insane.
Yeah, I agree. Especially God of War.
I don't think these guys have the talent. They make remasters or remakes of single player games.
Mm-hmm.
You're asking them to make a multiplayer game. They've never made these types of games before.
Right.
So how do you expect them to get off the
ground? Let me ask you, DS, let me ask you a question, just so we do apples for apples.
Mooch, before you say, can I really address a hidden issue that
Go
I
ahead.
think that we've seen this occur with other developers that have done this, and it kind of ruins the studio. So over the time of development, like say, 4 to 5 years, maybe even more, to make this different kind of game that your studio has never made, you have to acquire the talent to do that. The people that you have are really good at the kind of games that you've been successful at making, but they've never made this kind of experience that you're trying to do. And so you need to bring people in who know how to do that. And what ends up happening as well is that, your developers there are not robots. Mm-hmm. There's no guarantee they're going to stay where they are.
That's right.
Work on a game that they don't care about, and they'll make experiences that they were not there to make. And so what ends up happening, because this happened at Arcane Austin, when Arcane Austin went from making games like Prey, Typhoon Hunter, helping with what's the other one? The Dishonored games, and they didn't sell great, but they were considered to be a immersive sims that were up a certain level of quality, right? When that's what people were there for. And then Bethesda, because they were, they needed the money. They were definitely, hurting in that aspect. And they said, hey, we need you guys to start making live service stuff. People bounced. So what happened to Arcane Austin after they make Redfall? It's a colossal failure. Mm-hmm. You got like 70% of the people that were there with you when you made Prey don't work there anymore.
Right.
Those people moved on to make the kind of experiences that they wanted to make. And what happens to your studio after you tried to pivot back to, that was a mistake. You guys make the kind of games that you're great at making. Do you even still have the same people anymore? It's like making these kind of pivotal mistakes have greater repercussions than, oh, it's just a failed game. Let's move on and just act like it didn't happen. It's just, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
The studio might not be able to recover back to the kind of studio that they were before. And so it's just like doing these kind of pivots is just bad for a multitude of reasons. Like definitely, if you want, I'm not saying don't make live service games. I think they should. That's what they want to do. They want to make more money. But you get studios that know how to do that.
Right.
And then you get people who know how to manage those studios correctly and understand. Like, look, I enjoy Concord. I enjoyed the game. I thought it was a very good hero shooter.
I thought it was a polished game. It just didn't resonate with gamers.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why it didn't resonate with gamers. Because in you know, the people who love hero shooters will deny. But look at all the popular hero shooters that are out there, and look at how they are marketed. Look at Marvel Rivals. What do you see all the time? Titties and ass.
Yep.
All over the place.
Yep.
All the skins. They do a 500 skins.
Yep.
Of TNA everywhere.
Yep. Absolutely.
Overwatch.
Yeah.
They don't market Roadhog because nobody wants to see a half man, half pig on in marketing. Who they market? They market Widowmaker, even though nobody uses her. They market Mercy. They market Tracer. They market it's the gooning.
Right.
Hero shooters, right? Hold on. Who did they have the goon on in Concord? Literally nobody. A bunch of good Guardians of the Galaxy looking rejects. Enjoyed the game, but literally nothing for them to goon to.
No attachment to the character.
You don't understand the genre that you're making. You make the kind of mistakes that maybe someone need to tell the dev, hey, look, I know you want to be creative. We don't give a fuck. Okay, so go make some characters that people want to flap to, like Death Singer. Like he wants a body pillow of one of our characters, but he's not doing that with any of the Ugg mugs you got in there.
The thing is though, to Slow-Mo's point, and also there's another point. It's like a hero shooter, also a hero shooter. Minton's point with Concord was you called it hero shooter. There's no ultimates or ability. Like that's the biggest thing. It's like, you've been given the template. Overwatch, which was the big proponent. I know there was hero shooters before Overwatch, but Overwatch really brought it to the fore. And they were like abilities, cute characters, great skins. You have, your Guna bait and whatnot, but you also have great gameplay. And this is the template of a hero shooter. Like Marvel Rivals is Overwatch. Like if you look at it, it plays the rhythm of it is Overwatch. You could see it clearly in the way the teams pushed cargo. It's just Marvel characters, right? That's the only difference. It's Overwatch, but with Marvel characters. Yeah, basically. Yeah. And so, that's the only difference between the two. But they took the template and made it great, right? Whereas Overwatch flamed it. Well, Concord was like, let's try to do something different. Not only did you do a hero shooter with no ultimates, which is fucking stupid, because when they're like, I was like, where's my ultimate? Like, there's got to be some good explosions, particle effects everywhere, like, make this interesting.
Yeah.
Nah, none of that. And then the characters all look like shit anyway. And then you end up closing faster than Bleeding Edge, which is a fucking... That right there. In fact, it closed sooner than
Bleeding Edge had the same exact problem. They had fugly characters that nobody wanted to use.
Yes,
so that's why nobody played the game.
And the thing is, it's like you have all that, but also I see a lot of people say, well, successful Tokon. The only reason Tokon is successful, because guess what? They actually went to a studio that knows what the fuck they're doing with multiplayer games and fighting games. And guess what? They made a good game.
That was my reference, DS. That's what I was saying.
It's Arc System works.
Yes.
That's like if Tokon was made by Ben's studio, you think it'd be this good? No.
No.
It's because it's made by Arc System works.
That's right.
So you went to someone who knew what the fuck they did.
That's right, and that's not a jab at Ben. That's just not what they do.
No, but they don't have the talent there to accomplish this.
So
you're asking someone to build a house, and all you're giving them is a pitchfork. And you're like, what the fuck do you want me to do with this? I don't have the equipment for this.
Yes.
What are we doing? Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I only know how to build a shed, not a house.
That's right.
So it's like...
I got a couple super chats I want to run by you guys because it is on this topic, and then we have some other really hot topics to get to as well. Ocelot says, fire Herman Hulse and hire Shu back. Listen, Ocelot, I know a lot of people say that online. I don't believe Shu's coming back. I know he's a fan favorite, but I don't think he's coming back. Shout out to the OA. He says, As a Horizon fan, I didn't like the live service idea. At least they got a fair shot, acted on the feedback, and are given a chance to put out something else. Yes, I don't think that something else will be as big as they wanted OA, but they will get that opportunity. Mally's here, and he says, Yote, Kenna 2, Phantom Blade 0, God of War Lefay, Saros, Astrobot, Tokan. If this is mismanagement, I want more. Mally with the, hey, that's a nice little list you got there too, Mally. Highlander says, Stalker 2 DLC tomorrow. Can't wait. Highlander, all the games that are coming out, you throw out Stalker 2 DLC. Listen, teach their own. Teach their own. Go enjoy that, Highlander. Bespoke says, people say they only want single-player games, but I always see people bragging about paying $20 for a new game or buying it used. If you want single-player, you need to buy every game at launch for full price. Bespoke, so there's a whole methodology there, right? I mean, I know where you're coming from with that and, sponsor and help the devs and stuff. But when there's sales or people are waiting for stuff, everyone's got a lot going on. Also, you might be in the camp, like Slow-Mo said, where you're buying 12 to 20 games a year and it doesn't affect you. There's other people who want to play 12 games a year and it's $70 or full price. That might be a situation. So there's a lot of different ways to attack that. And the only reason I'm skipping over a quick Bespoke is only because that was a conversation years ago. And boy, did that take up a lot of time on podcasts. Believe me. Andy Hart says, do the panel think Fortnite is the benchmark blueprint for live service games? I don't know, guys. I don't think that's the blueprint.
No, it's not. It's
a winning formula. It is one of the winning formulas.
I think the formula has evolved. I think the blueprint now is Roblox without the legal issues.
Yes, correct.
And because Roblox is a platform, like it's not just one game, it's a collection of games that are run on there. Yeah. And so like if your kid, which I wouldn't recommend your kids play this, please don't. But like if your kid's playing Roblox, they're likely playing a game that if you start playing Roblox would be something completely different. And you see, and the reason why I say that's the blueprint, because Fortnite pivoted to that. Like if you like, I play Fortnite all the time, and I play, sometimes I play with my daughter, but my daughter plays some dumb game called Brain Rot, which is almost perfect, the name of the game, right? But like Brain Rot and hide and seek stuff, and I'm doing the zero build battle royale. Like that's what Epic created. But like there's these other community created games, which is essentially exactly like Roblox, but it looks better because it's Fortnite. And that's the new thing, because that's a platform in itself. It is literally its own economy. It's just basically, it just needs some hardware to play on, which ends up being your PlayStation or your Xbox or your Switch or whatever. Mm-hmm. But these are platforms now. And so when people say I'm a gamer and like, oh, will you play on PlayStation? They're like, they don't care about that. They like, no, I play Minecraft.
Yeah,
Minecraft's on everything, and you can do damn near anything in it. That's the format where you can create a platform within a platform. And that's what everyone wants to create now, but you have to kind of start small.
That's a great point.
Where you have something, a great mode or something that attracts everyone, and then you build off of that, and then you create tools that allow people to do the work for you. Go ahead and make more games in my platform and give me money.
The thing is, it's like you also have to look at how live service went, right? It's like, and bear in mind, there's different live kings of live service, right? You look at WoW, dominates the MMO space, even though people have been saying, oh, the WoW killer's coming out. Yeah, nothing has ever killed WoW. WoW killed itself. And even then, it's still resurgence. Like, WoW just refuses to die. It's been around for like 15 years, right? And then you have, in the MOBA space, well, League of Legends is just the god, been around for like 15 years. CSGO dominates that shooter space. Valorant's doing well, putting up a fight, but CSGO is still there. And then you're like, well, what happened to the Battle Royale genre? It was Fortnite. Like, Fortnite mastered the Battle Royale genre. Like, when Battle Royales were big, it's like, Fortnite was like, oh shit, our game didn't work. Let's make Fortnite Battle Royale, and it just destroyed everything, right? And they've mastered that. But it's like, now you need to go in, and Roblox is next big thing. Like, Roblox makes a shit ton of money. And bear in mind, stuff like Fortnite is falling off a cliff. Like, with the changes they made to the V-Bucks and everything, a lot of people are quitting Fortnite. If you look at the Fortnite annual numbers, they've dropped significantly because the seasons are garbage, the balancing's out of whack, the skins are getting recycled, and also they are having an issue now with the stability of the game. And a lot of people are just quitting. So the game is slowly over time bleeding players. It probably won't die.
But it's still way bigger than anything else.
Well, no, it's not, though. It's not bigger than
It
Roblox.
It is, because on PlayStation, or I don't know about PC, obviously it's not as big on PC. We already know from the Epic courtroom files that it's a shadow of what it is on console.
Well, yeah, that's because
we know, because the beta PlayStation software or whatever allowed you to see what the top played games were and what the player numbers were, and Fortnite was like orders of magnitude higher than the number 2, which I think was GTA 5, if I remember correctly. But the point is, whatever drops they've had, which I think is, we've heard like 35%, 40% reported by different analyst groups. Despite that drop, it's still like 3, 4, 5 times more popular than the next big thing. So it's still massive.
I mean, but the thing is, it's like Roblox makes a bit less money than Fortnite, but it has way more people actually playing it, way higher active player counts and player engagement hours. So they make more money off the microtransactions and everything. And they might not make overall total money, but bear in mind, Fortnite's revenue is coming down because people are not playing the game anymore.
The PlayStation player numbers was player numbers, not revenue. So if that were true, Roblox would be number 1.
No, Roblox is slightly behind it, right?
I don't think it's slightly. I think it's a lot. I'll get the numbers up.
Roblox roughly generated according to this 4.9 billion, while Fortnite did 5.7 to 6, right? So it's not that far behind.
Yeah, I think it's because Roblox is really popular on PC, on mobile, and all sorts of different devices.
Well, it's also popular with the kids, though, because it's like, if you look at the daily active...
That's what I mean, because the kids I know, nearly all of them play it on tablet, not even on anything...
That's the thing. You got all the engagement. So, like, the estimated daily active users is 126 million. That's daily for Roblox, whereas Fortnite averages about 30 million daily, right? So
no, I know, but we're talking about game consoles, aren't we? Because unless you're saying PlayStation and
but Roblox is a platform, though, as explained by Forte. Slow-mo. Whoops. That was a slip. As explained by Slow-mo, it's a platform.
Forte's not here yet.
Yeah.
As in, but you're saying Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo need to release like Google Android and iOS games, basically. Is that what you're saying?
You just need to release a game that captures the main user market, right? The casual user market. And so it's just like, to his point, is Fortnite the standard? No, it's not, because other people are getting more engagement than them. Yes, they're making more money off the microtransactions, but more people are choosing to interact with a game like Roblox. So if you want to get as many people as possible playing your game, you're going to follow the Roblox remedy.
So I've got the top player counts, right? This is from the PSN beta. So player count number 1 is Fortnite, 14.6 million players a week. Number 2, GTA 5 million players a week. Minecraft, 4.9. Call of Duty, 4.9. Apex, 1.7. Rivals, 1.6. Battlefield 6, 1.5. Arc Raiders, 1 million. So Roblox isn't actually even in the top PlayStation played. Again, I think most of Roblox's engagement is actually not on the console side. It's in the mobile, tablet, etc. kind of demographics.
The thing is, like, as much as that you like to say that, it's like, if you say a Roblox is less popular than like a game like Apex Legends, I'm sorry, I got you an island to sell you in the middle of.
No, but that's literally a factor.
Yeah, but
I'm saying it's literally
why is Roblox not on there? That's the thing. Why is it not counted? What is not counting it?
No, I think it is counted.
Was it not counted then? Exactly.
No, I mean, I have, like, there's no reason that Roblox wouldn't be counted.
Yeah, because, like, look, I just looked up Matt Piscatella's, like, you know how he's on Blue Sky, he does the whole weekly player engagement tracker. Like, last week.
But he
Yeah, like, Roblox was number 2 on PlayStation for engagement with players, and the week before that it was number 3. Like it's always like in the top 5 of games ever since it launched on PlayStation. It's always been
right. That's
So
what
why
I mean.
isn't it in PlayStations then?
Well, it's because
What you said? Why is it not? What?
Oh, I know why. It's because Roblox doesn't delineate. I just looked at Roblox does not publicly break down its exact user counts by individual console platforms.
No, I know, but PlayStation does it based on their own data, not on the public.
Yeah, but like Matt Piscatella has the data which backs it up.
Which is again,
I know, but
Circana's
Matt's data is
just
not
the America, so it's not like Europe,
worldwide.
it's not Asia, it's not worldwide. It's just probably just
Obviously,
North America. I think
Circana's
it's just
data is
US
not
and Canada. I think that's it.
correct.
But,
Yeah. So obviously, PlayStation data is worldwide. But what I'm saying is, I wouldn't. Obviously, Circana is a very, very reputable source.
Absolutely.
But it's not a better source than the primary source. Like I wouldn't be like, I'm going to go with Circana over Nintendo, or I'm going to go with so and so over PlayStation.
Right.
That's their.
But I would say
But
they're a tier. They're right there though.
Because people bring out like, oh, Circana's proof this did well. Circana's proof that this game did well. So like people rely on Circana when it comes to certain narratives, but then it's like, well, we kind of have to poo-poo Circana when it comes to
but like he said, it's only American data. So maybe Roblox in the United States is much bigger than it is elsewhere in the world. Like obviously we know from GSD
are you
data.
Surprised
that might be true. That might be true.
Yeah.
That might be true.
Everyone in the White House loves Roblox.
Oh, you got people.
That's good. Yeah. No, I like Roblox. I know their player count is like super high. So the fact they're not appearing on there means PlayStation's not counting something. Like there is a problem because I know for a fact Roblox is more popular than Apex Legends. If you tell me Apex Legends is more popular than Roblox, I got an island in Peru to tell you.
Not in Roblox, but that on PlayStation. Not more. Like again, obviously Roblox, like I said, it's a massive mobile.
So Apex Legends is more popular than Roblox overall. But on PlayStation itself, maybe it is more popular on PlayStation. But then when you take into account all the other platforms, then it's like
the reason I say sometimes it's weird like that, right? Like Fortnite, as massive as it is, I believe in the during the Epic case. Like they combined like PC and Android, and it was like 7% of Fortnite players. So obviously, like when you hear that, you think, hold on a minute, that can't be right. How is PC and Android combined that low? But sometimes it is like that. It's like certain games do much better on certain platforms,
That's
so maybe it might just be a thing that Roblox, one, it's really popular in the United States, and two, it's a lot more popular on like mobile devices and Android, iOS, etc.
Yeah, like I looked up the peak concurrent players for Roblox all time, and it hit like nearly 50 million players concurrently at one point, but 41 million of those players were on Steam. So it's just like it's definitely. I think this kind of goes for all the big popular games. They have their like main platform that has the bulk of the players, but it's not necessarily like doesn't mean like it's not popular or anything, or it's not doing great on other platforms. It is, but it's just, especially considering like with PlayStation, I think it came to PlayStation last.
It did come to PlayStation last, yes.
So it makes sense that it would not be its biggest platform.
It was massive on PC. It was very big on Xbox. And then PlayStation got it last. And I'm sure it's doing fine on PlayStation, but I would assume it probably is doing the least successful on PlayStation. Not to say it's unsuccessful, just the least successful of the three.
Yeah.
Real quick, let me just get back to a couple of these super chats, and I do want a lot to talk about tonight. Shout out to Babor. Babor, this is exactly what I was saying and handing it off to the people. This is what DS was saying too. Tocom was handed to the pros. Arc, it is a PlayStation IP. That's the way they should have done it. Max Power says, you guys are assuming they didn't hire developers with multiplayer experiences to work on those games. Well, the only ones that we Arc, they definitely did with Tocon, right? And I hope I'm saying that right. And then you also have Concord gets a lot of shit, and that's fine. I think Slow-Mo really kind of wrapped it up and put a bow on it for you guys. But that was a multiplayer team. Again, Slow-mo, I'm glad you're here because when I say this a lot of times, I get like, I get people throwing tomatoes at me. But Concord, the game itself, was polished and it played well. It didn't.
It was a fun 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was a great 2 weeks. It was a great 2 weeks, right? So that was a dedicated, right? That was a dedicated.
I will say though, it didn't help Concord the fact they released their open beta at the same time Marvel Rivals did in the exact same time frame.
That's true.
Because as we did, we played Concord and then we went over to the Marvel Rivals beta and we were like, Oh, I see the writing on the wall.
No, listen, I'll be honest. Let's face it. It was a name. It was a name. That's just what it was. Because guys, the stuff that they had against Concord was, who's asking for this? Who's asking for this freaking...
Who was asking for this?
It was and then they released the exact same game, except it had a Marvel title on it, and then everybody started gloating. Like, come on, man. It is what it is.
It was a good game.
It is what it is.
There's another guy named Jay Barry. Shout out to Jay Barry. Right?
Yes.
And I will always remember this as a perfect example of what I said that the failure of the game was. Jay was playing the game heavy like myself, and Jay Barry posted a clip of him like on a kill streak with a particular character. I forgot the character's name. It's the one that looks like a alien soccer mom. Like that one.
Oh,
and so with like a rat tail or something, it looks stupid. She looks dumb, but that's
wasn't it like Itsy or something or
yeah, that's it. Itsy. She had like a
something
SMG
like that
or something. So,
yeah.
She would like flip around with the SMG. She was great to play with, but she looked hideous, right? So he's got his posting this clip of this kill streak, and then the post goes viral, and everyone is just clowning on how she looks.
Right.
No one said anything about the gameplay. They're just like, what is this pink, ugly alien rat? This is the garbage they put out there. All they cared about is how the character looked. In a first-person perspective hero shooter, you can't even see her for 90% of the game. But people hate the fact that when you pick the character, she does a little dumb spin, and she looks like she's about to start jazzercising. It's just like, what the heck was that?
Yeah,
it's a misunderstanding of the demographic of gamers that play those kind of games. Would they enjoy playing Concord? Yeah, but you also didn't make it live service, so they wouldn't try it for free.
Yeah,
they can't.
No,
they got to spend $40 just to get into the experience to realize, hey, this is actually kind of fun, even though these characters are fugly. But they wouldn't even attempt it because you didn't give them.
I feel like what's funny though, Slow-mo, and I haven't been able to explain
thing to get in.
I haven't been able to explain the psychology behind it. That's just not my profession. But it seems like when games do go free to play, I like majority of them don't hit. They just don't hit with the audience. And I don't know if it's because, I think you said it in a different regard to a different game, Slow-mo, but you were saying when money is spent on a game, you almost feel this obligation. Like, I paid for this, right? I'm going to play this
especially
game.
If you're beyond the time to refund it.
Correct.
So you kind of feel invested.
You're invested. If it's free, and it's probably one of the downfalls of like Game Pass, it's like I'll get to it when I get to it. The problem is that people don't get to it. And when they don't get to it, the game dies shortly thereafter.
So it's like a double-edged sword,
Fortnite
right?
and Roblox free though.
Yeah, those are the outliers. Those are the anomalies.
You have to have. This is why I said if you got great gameplay, people will stay.
Right.
If the game is fun to play, you can be free and people will stay there.
Yes.
If it's not, and someone just put like the First Descendant in the chat, like that's a great example of it. First Descendant, nothing but titties everywhere, right? Nothing but titties and cheeks everywhere. And that was fine for a little while until people realized this game is just basically Warframe and Destiny with titties.
Yep.
But it doesn't play better than Warframe and Destiny, and they drop the game. If it's not fun, you're not going to get people to stay, regardless if it's free or not. So you still have to do the bare minimum, like the prerequisite is that it's a fun, good game to play.
Game.
Yes.
But that's not.
I was going to say, you asked earlier
to get a successful game. It has to have other aspects of it that get there. Go ahead. Dave.
Yeah, I was going to say, you said what is the formula? maybe the formula is that you just stand out and you're different, right? Because there isn't nothing quite like Fortnite. And when Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 came along, right? Modern Warfare, sorry. That, again, like, the big thing at the time was what, like, Halo, probably. And then before that, it was like Unreal Tournament and Quake and stuff. Like, there's always these things that kind of like drive people away, and they're not actually similar at all. They're quite different.
Right.
Call of Duty played very different from Halo. It was like a Twitch shooter where, you know, historically we were used to the slower pace of Halo, right? I don't think it even had sprint back in those days. So yeah, like maybe it isn't to copy Fortnite, or it isn't to copy, you know, Roblox, like Dreams kind of tried to do as well. You know, I think I don't know if it came before Roblox or not, but the point is maybe it is just that you have compelling gameplay and something fresh and different. Because even Arc Raiders, right? Like, I know there's Tarkov and other things like that, but it is still quite fresh in its field, right? And Helldivers 2 was as well, like, in that sphere. I think that's one of those reasons those games did well.
Well,
I think Helldivers marketing was perfect because it was like, it really leaned into the whole even though unofficially, you know, Starship Troopers. And there was a lot of people who was like, oh yeah, I love that hokey Starship Troopers movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would love to play basically Starship Troopers. You know, it takes me back to my youth. And I really kind of helped them really get that game out there, especially considering like the change in perspective, the glow up visually from the first game. All that stuff was like a perfect storm for Helldivers 2 to be successful. And I think part of the problem with Sony is that they funded that game, and if you look at the marketing for that compared to the marketing for something like Marathon and Concord, they had no idea that was going to end up being their most successful live service game.
Right,
and that's the problem, because they can't. Like, we could talk about how Xbox can't tell the difference between a piece of trash and a quality game, but PlayStation can't tell the difference between a piece of trash live service game and a quality live service game. But that's why I said Herman gotta go, because
you also have to remember, it's like Arc Raiders hit the perfect storm, right? Because yes, Tarkov was the dominant in the extraction shooter, but Tarkov is hardcore. It's hardcore. It's for the enthusiast, and it's mainly a PC audience, right? They are locked in. They've been here since before 1.0. Like, these guys, it's super hardcore. Like, for example, you need to make sure you have armor-piercing bullets, because if someone has body armor and you don't have armor-piercing bullets, you're not going to do any damage to them if you shoot them in the chest, right? And you need to make sure you have the correct helmets, because you could get shrapnel or something, and you need to... It's very, very hardcore in that respect, where you need the right gear, and if you don't have the proper loadout, you're just going to get bodied and all that. Whereas Arc Raiders was like, let's make it for the casual. And they made it for the casual, and they fucking nailed it. Like, it is way casual experience, but they did what they were supposed to do. And I will say, they took Marathon's lunch money. They mugged them right under it. They were like, we released first.
But Marathon is not a success, and I'm looking at Arc Raiders numbers on SteamDB, and they're at 25,000 right now. So what's the expectation for a live service game is my question. Do you want something like a Fortnite, or are you okay with an Arc Raiders when it comes to success?
Well, yeah, but the initial success, like, if you look at their initial, like, what their player count was,
right?
They made so
481,000 was their peak. So, like, is Sony good with those numbers for millions of dollars, or do they want something a little higher?
Well, the thing
it's a rhetorical question, by the way. I'm just asking.
No. But like, the obvious question here is, you need to make your money back for the game, right? So let's say your game costs 200 million. You need to make that back. Now, if Arc Raiders cost 100 million, 481,000 concurrent just on Steam. That's not counting console. I can guarantee they made their money back and then some for the development, right? Could you tell me Marathon made its money back for its development?
I think the live service games the model for them is different, right? I don't think these companies are going into producing live service games for the sole purpose of just covering their costs, right? They want something that can hit and be evergreen, because that's their business model, right? If you look at if you're looking at it from a single player title perspective, I agree. They want to cover their costs and then some, and then they chase the long tail. But Like, if I'm putting all those resources, if I'm a company like Sony or even Microsoft or Nintendo's not really in this game, but if I'm doing that, I'm looking to hit the moon, right? So I can make easy iterations to the game over time, and I will get all my money back on the microtransactions rather than the initial development.
And that's the thing, though. You need to make sure you hit it straight out of the park and get the high numbers, so you make all the money up front. And then, yeah, sure, it's tailed off to now, but look at its player count over the time period from release. Yeah, it slowly trickles down, but that's all live service games. They do that. That's just a guarantee over time because people will move on and whatnot. But it's like they'll always have a stable fan base. But Arc Raiders has made so much money. Like they are so unbelievably rich right now. But then you look at something like a Marathon. I can tell you right now, the launch that had for a Bungie game and how much money they probably spent on development, I guarantee you, one, Sony is not happy, and I guarantee you Bungie is not happy because Marathon did not do what it was supposed to do. And then to top it all off, Destiny 2 basically ended, so you lose all that microtransactions and stuff. Sure, it's kicked back up again, but that's just people protesting Marathon for whatever reason.
Well, that's got a lot to do with it, and we kind of brush over it, and that's fine. It's fine to brush over it because there's not a lot of facts to talk about here or there, but the amount of hate that Marathon got and the bad publicity and then the bad timing of ending Destiny 2 right there, so you've got the fan base really upset, that all played a big role in it too, because again, a lot like Slow-Mo was saying before, I'm not saying when it comes to Concord or it comes to Marathon you're supposed to like the game. That's not the conversation. The conversation is it a sound game? I'll tell you, from putting in, I don't know, I have, it's an ungodly number, 180 hours, 200 hours of maybe more than that. I can't remember. Blaze is going to join us in a minute. Might be upwards of 300 hours of Arc Raiders. Like, I'm just saying, I enjoyed Arc Raiders, like, immensely. But Marathon was very good, in my opinion. It was a more complex system, not necessarily. I think they could have worked on the economy a little bit more. There was a couple other things they could have done better. But overall, it was we can critique any game. I thought it was a very sound game. I liked it. The audience just isn't there for it. But the amount of hate it got online, and I don't know. I just didn't think it really deserved that amount of hate. It's just, but here we are. It is what it is.
It got a lot of bad publicity with them stealing art from
yes,
independent artists.
Yes, they hurt themselves in the beginning before launch.
And then it was some of the background information why the Destiny community did not gravitate to Marathon is that Bungie took basically the PvP team of Destiny and took them off of Destiny to start making Marathon, which is why Destiny went years without even a new multiplayer map and no significant updates to the multiplayer PvP experience. When Destiny community realized this, and this is what you did all of that for this Marathon. They were like, well, we are not going to support your game. And then, even as you said, even further, when they stopped doing development on any new content for Destiny and then rolled what was left of the Destiny team into the Marathon team, they're definitely like, we absolutely not going to support that game.
Right.
Because they're mad about their baby not being supported any further. And when you think about it, Destiny's numbers are not bad. It's diminished from what it was back at its height, but Bungie wasn't being profitable. They got over 800 developers. It costs way too much to do that and then have independent support studios making big expansions for you and that you're dropping on an annual basis. The entire structure of how that game was designed was too expensive for, even though plenty of developers and publishers would love to have the numbers Destiny had, it just wasn't sustainable with the amount of people that were spending money within the game. So it's just like to get back to Ledger's question, it's really different depending on a developer. Like we saw Ubisoft cancel XDefiant, and XDefiant at the time that it got canceled and shut down had around the same numbers that Arc Raiders is getting right now. But the developer for Arc Raiders, I forgot the name. They make the finals as well. But that developer is fine.
Embark,
Embark, right? Embark, and I think Nexon is the publisher for them.
Well, the Arc Raiders, I know people are looking at 25K right now, but Arc Raiders was sitting at 200 plus every day they had the belt for a long time for that type of game. And then only when they started making boneheaded decisions and saying we're not going to update the game until, we're going to have these big massive updates, but we're not updating the game as frequently as you're used to.
Like 6
months. A lot
months.
of reasons why Arc Raiders, took a hit player wise, but
Yeah, no, 100%. And so real quick, shout out to Ledger and the Blaze 4K joining the show. Got a couple super chats here. Then I do want to move on to another one here. Shout out to, is it Ed Wedge? He says, I think Warhawk would have been an easy live service game for Sony. They tried that. It didn't work. It just didn't work. You know what I mean, buddy? I know it's easy to say that, but I don't know if they would go back to something that already failed for them. Danelle Brown, of course, when we were all talking about the Roblox, he says, Trump's a big Roblox fan. So shout out to Danelle Brown. El Nini, thank you for the $10. Yeah, Slow-mo beat you to it, Danelle Brown. Mariko, shout out to Brian Easy, says, nobody wants to play a game that tries to send a message. It's the anchor that works completely opposite to escapism. And I saw some people going back and forth with you in the chat after your super chat, Mariko. Some people say they want that message, and I don't know if they mean that in story or if they're talking about something they're trying to push. That's true, Mariko. Andy Hart says PlayStation food and drink has been first-party single-player exclusive games from the inception. If it's not broke, don't change it. Well, Andy Hart, you can. That's exactly how we started this segment with DS. He started that same way. I do want to move over to another topic real quick, guys. That was an hour and a half on that one. I got to talk a little bit about today's Wolverine, and then we're gonna this kind of Blaze. That's why your timing was perfect, because I know you really have a lot to say about the Wolverine thing. But before we get to Wolverine, the game and the hate, I want to talk about today's situation with the limited edition controllers, plates, and consoles. Just real quick, I got to tell you, man, I ended up 10 o'clock. First of all, 10 a.m. And I'm not speaking for everybody, right? Horrible time, right, Blaze? Did you say that? Horrible time. The 100%. Worst. Like, I understand that, and even I don't care. You can say whatever you want. Pacific time is what, 7 a.m. And over in England, it was whatever, 2, 3 in the afternoon. People are working. What are we doing here? Everybody take a 10-minute break. I got some plates and controllers to buy. Everybody take a break. Wait, what are we supposed? So everyone's trying to really scramble here. They had a problem, of course, with online. I ended up getting, and I got the confirmation email. Luckily, I got the Wolverine controller through Target. I got it on Target. The plates through the PlayStation Direct store, and J-Dub just had to leave again. Me and Jay were talking all day because Jay had the same thing. We both thought we got them. And right now, I still think I do. But I had to sign in as guest because I couldn't sign in. When you try to sign in with your username and password, it was kicking you out. So I was like, well, I'm in line. I'm like, I have to get. So I went through guest, and I filled everything out, got the plates. It went through. I got an order number, went to the PlayStation Direct confirmation page, put in the order number, and it says, yes, you actually got it. So I still think I'm getting the plates, but now I'm seeing a lot of backlash online of people said if you went on as a guest, and even if it said you got it, you might not have got it. So I don't know if I'm getting the plates at this point. And frankly, it's kind of bullshit, and I don't care. It's ridiculous that we can't handle this situation any better. Since 2020 with the scalpers, we haven't gotten any better. Now, Blaze, did you have any luck with this? I'm pardon me, I don't know if Slow-mo was talking. Blaze, I didn't have any luck with this.
Mooch, brother, I had, thank God Delta bought the plates for me. And I'm like, wait, there's no PS5 Pro console? I thought there was a bundle.
There
PS5
is.
Pro Wolverine. There is?
Yes, there is.
A bundle, PS5 Pro bundle, like the whole console.
J-Dub got it.
Delta, I will.
The plates, or because I only
was
saw
told
the base digital version had the bundle.
Hold on, let me look right now. Did you say Pro only?
Pro only, like what I mean? You buy a PS5 Pro and it's Wolverine themed. Comes with a controller, it's a console. But
I'm pretty sure.
No, they're just selling plates.
I'm pretty sure Jay said he bought the. I'm going. Of course, J-Dub just had to leave right now. Jay, if you're listening to the show, jump back in here, buddy. This is the part I really wanted Jay to sound off because he was in the same situation. He ended up getting. I thought he said he bought the console. Now, if it wasn't a slim, can anybody in the chat back this? Eric, the producer, the bundle was a slim only. Okay, sorry, my bad. All right, okay, Eric, good. The producer, saying it's a slim only. I thought it was the Pro.
And that's what made me back off. Once I knew it was just plates, I backed off. I said, and then, bro, Sony, how about a DualSense Edge? You know what I mean? Can we get a DualSense Edge?
Yeah, can we get an Edge?
I mean, a missed opportunity. The time's horrible. You know, it is what it is. I'm glad everybody got what they wanted, but I wanted something more than that.
I got the controller. I don't know how I'm feeling about it. I don't think I'm going to get the plates, Blaze. I'll let you. I'm going to keep everybody privy to it to see if it actually came through. Like I said, I got an order number. I did not get a confirmation email from Sony yet, though. I did get a confirmation number. I put I go to their PS Direct. I go into confirmation, put your order in. I put the order number in.
And
it says there it is. It says it's there, and it says it was purchased. I don't know if anybody else on
money out.
You know what? I didn't check. I didn't check the card. I don't think they take the money out anyways.
So
right?
I do.
They usually do.
Do
By
they?
the time I remember,
let me
Mooch,
see.
it was like 11:30, and now I was scrambling like, oh my god, I forget. You know what I mean? Because sorry
Yes.
that I got a job and go. You know what I mean? I'm like, holy shit.
I'm
like,
sorry, I got to work.
You know what I mean? I don't do the Twitter thing like that no more. And it's just I missed the.
So Blaze, what's the problem with it just being plates? Because like I don't see an issue with it.
No, there's
Right.
no problem with it. I want both. I want a legit console, like a whole. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
you know how many PS4 Pros I got? Like Death Stranding, Spider-Man, God of War, Last of Us. You know what I mean? I got all these cool pros and I like to keep them in the box and maybe resell them one day, maybe not. But the point is, like the plates. It's the same thing with Spider-Man. I'm like, it's just plates. I don't want it. You know what I mean? It's a great concept, great idea. It's not for me.
I think it might be because the Pro's not selling well because of the price. Like, or maybe they have limited units of the Pro.
Maybe. Could be.
I'm talking to Eric, the producer, right now. So Eric, you're saying you could. I didn't get it. Then is that what this? I mean, I have the order number, and when I punched it in twice, and it shows a complete order. I don't know. We'll see what he says there. But I thought that was kind of bullshit. However, they sold out. Now it's limited edition, so I'll pump the brakes there. But I mean,
we don't know how many they made.
We don't know, but like,
but they did sell them all.
They sold them all. They're gone now. That doesn't mean
I'm sure they made more of them than what Valve made of the Steam.
Yes, I would also agree with that notion. Yes,
I think probably hold all of the inventory of the Steam machine in my two hands.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought you were gonna say your kitchen. Yeah, it's even better. Right. No, yeah, I don't know. Anybody else? Did anybody else even try? Slow-mo, did you go for the plates?
I didn't even know it was happening. I was completely just, I guess, not paying attention. So
grown man business.
That's all right. Yeah. Listen,
look. I think the plates are dope. I like the claws cutting, and you can kind of see like the exhaust fan underneath. I thought that was dope. I think the controller looks great, even though I'm kind of like a controller like weirdo. Like I care about great performance on controllers and regular controllers. I don't give a damn about them no more. So like if I did buy it, it would just sit on like a shelf somewhere to just look at. Like I would never use the thing.
Yeah.
But like the plates look dope.
Right. But that's
they're selling already on eBay for $200.
Of course they are.
Of course
they are. Yeah, of course they're gonna do
I don't mean listed price. I mean sold prices.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Because that's what happens. That's why scalpers scalp. Because there's always going to be a sucker that's going to pay that money for it. Always.
I got a
I'm glad I don't give a shit about this.
So
yeah, but that Concord one you got is worth. That's gonna be worth a lot of money, buddy.
Yeah,
Hold on to that. Hold on to that. Yeah, I don't know. I just, and again, I kind of, I'm in both camps here. If I get the plates, great. If I don't get the plates, also great. I'm at a point right now where.
This is their best design in a long time.
I know.
I got to be real.
That's why I went for it.
When it comes to design, they've been, in my opinion, lacking.
Yes.
So I think Xbox has done a better job in terms of design. This is an excellent design by them, though. Finally.
Yes, this was very good. The transparent panels, outstanding idea. You have a really cool looking, especially people that keep take their panels off, like keep everything neat and clean, that have the fan showing or whatever it is in the machine underneath.
No, that's nice.
That's sick. I think that's really, really nice. It was a good touch. Plus, I went with the yellow. I know a lot of people were really into the adamantium white and whatever. That's fine. But I got to be honest with you, like I wanted just the traditional yellow. We were talking about this on the stream the other day, Blaze. I just went with the traditional yellow X-Men. I thought it was like, so I got the controller. Here's the thing. I really haven't, outside of the DualSense Edge, I'm trying to look back and see here. I don't really have a lot of custom controllers that I bought this year. I think I bought the Astrobot one. And that's
Yeah,
about
I
it.
think maybe the last
Me too.
custom controller I've
Yeah.
got is the Astrobot one.
Yep, I think I got
Yep,
the
that's a nice
Astrobot
one.
one. Yep. And there was one other one I might have picked up when early in the generation, but like it's been a minute. It's been a minute. I agree with you, Blaze. They should have done a DualSense Edge. I don't know why that's not getting any love. The other thing is that the Pro Plates, first time a Pro Plate's out there from Sony and not D brand. You know, so it's like, okay, I was gonna go get that, but I guess not. So we'll see. Eric, the producer, is telling me if I saw that the purchase was finalized and I did have that, it didn't crash, and it says I had that code, I should be good. I don't know. I've got some people saying I'm good. So I got some people saying, nah, if you didn't get the confirmation email and just because you have an order number, that doesn't mean anything. I've never heard that, by the way, in my adult life. Hey, here's the confirmation. Right? Have you ever heard that before? Here's your confirmation code. Wait down there, pick up, and you just stand there for 6 months. Never comes out. All right. So I don't know. That kind of bothered me. We can kind of parlay these two things into one here, but Blaze, the reason I want to start with you is you kind of went off. You had you did a little clip on X that literally went viral. You know, someone was given Wolverine. This is now talking about the game, not the plates of the controller. But the game comes out, gets a lot of hate. And I think a lot of it has to do with the timing, right? They're saying basically twofold. They're saying I think it has a lot to do with the no disc, no buy. That was one. And B, I also think it got hate because they were saying Insomniac, this is kind of like their puddle-gate, part 2. But instead of puddles, they're just saying it's a lack of effort, whether it be with the what's the cyborg's name there that you fight?
The Sentinel.
Sentinel. All right, so it's the Sentinel fight that got a lot of slack, and then moving straight forward, Blaze. They said walking in the game is not allowed. So, Blaze, you played Wolverine Origins to prove a point.
I'm still
what happened?
Playing through it. Yeah, I played it. I streamed it just to prove a point, bro. I not only did I fight the same boss about 8 times, no bullshit. 8 times I fought the same boss, the same concept. You wait for him to slam his hands, you jump on the back, you stab him, and you stab him, and then you got to jump off or else he'll whip you out. And listen, Origins is an excellent game, especially for the time period. It's great, but let's pump the brakes, you fucking weirdos. All right, you fucking clowns over here talking about I got this guy. This ain't my podcast. I'm gonna try to control my mouth here. But listen,
thank you, Blaze.
Listen, bro, I'm really tired of it. Oh, repetitive slop. And I'm looking at this guy's profile and he's playing 2K. Repetitive slop, brother. You are literally supporting repetitive slop by buying 2K and Madden. And guess what? Well, Blaze, you buy Madden every day. Yeah, I do, but I'm not complaining. It is what it is. We got one football game. That's what it is. I think people got a hate boner for PlayStation over the game situation. And by the way, you can go purchase Wolverine physical. You know what I mean? If you really want to do that,
right.
There's a physical version of Wolverine. These listen, Mooch, I can't associate with people no more. Just go to their Steam profiles and check out what the games they're playing, and while they look at Wolverine and complain about it. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, I can't fuck with these people. People are weird, and they're gay.
It's crazy how you actually
I was gonna touch on this because I think Wolverine is in a weird spot because there's so many different things going on in the political sphere, gaming sphere, etc. So, like you said, 1 is the no physical disc thing, right?
Right.
2, PlayStation has stopped releasing games on PC, right? So you got bare fucking PC cats mad now, right? At least the small number who would have bought it, or because remember, like everything is exasperated on. So even if there's only 20,000 or 10,000 people would have bought it, or 100,000 people would have bought it on Steam, even if 1% of them allowed on X, it makes a difference, right? And then you have the SBI, Sweet Baby Inc., and that soy, they've turned Wolverine soy. You've got this crowd, the right wing, like kind of side of things. They're really annoyed. They were upset with Spider-Man 2 as well, because it had like the mission with the the LGBTQT or whatever, friendly neighborhood spider stuff. So that crowd is annoyed. Then obviously you've got the Xbox fanboys, and I will say on my X, like the vast majority who have been really, really critical, they are predominantly Xbox and PC guys. Yeah. But then you get a few who are like follow the
Nib. That's a great point, because the most vocal people on X I don't pay attention
Yeah.
to X, but when I do, the most vocal people are people that don't have the needs to buy the game anyway. You don't have a PlayStation anyway. What the fuck are you whining about, first of all? And then the reason I made that clip in the first place, which was satire, but people, I got this dude only on PlayStation loser. I'm like, hey, dickhead, I'm defending Wolverine, dumbass.
They didn't understand.
Are you
People are stupid,
dumb?
bro.
Oh, Nib, check this out. The reason I made that post is people were like, they're hold handing. You know, you got a trail and Wolverine follows it. Well, in Origins, you got footsteps. You literally follow the footsteps like a detective right to the door. Knock, knock, knock. Hello.
But they loved it.
And by the way, it was no issue when The Witcher came out and you had those senses. No issue when Dead Space. You literally have to click down on L3.
Yep.
Oh, that was optional. Really? Go play Dead Space for the first time. Everybody's clicking that button.
Yes.
Like, where do I go this way? I don't want to hear. Listen, the cap on this app is fucking crazy. People are delusional. When other games do it, it's no issue. When Wolverine, bro, you know what my concerns with Wolverine were? Are you going to have a visceral combat system? Is it going to be gore and blood?
Gore and
That's
blood,
what I want. And then guess what?
Basically.
And then secondary is make sure you tell a great story, make sure the characters, you know what I mean? But and then they're saying, oh, the game looks like a 2018 game. I hate to tell you, buddy, some of the best looking games on this fucking earth are from 2018.
Yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
So this is the thing, right? So I was going to talk on that. I remember, like, because I've had quite a few tweets on this. Again, like, it's not. I don't really even care that it's Wolverine. It's more the hypocrisy of it, right? Because I think what this is uncovering is a bunch of fucking tourists and haters who are basically like, they are tourists, like they don't actually even know Wolverine. Because I've heard people say, like, why is he putting his middle fingers up? That's so out of character. Even Matty Plays, like on YouTube, I think he's got like 50, 60K views on his video. But his whole comments are like, what, bro, have you ever watched a Wolverine film, or have you ever read one of the comics? Like, he puts his juices up all the time, right? Like, I made a video where, like, I think 2 of the movies and 2 of the games, he's putting up his juices. And people are like, he's so out of character for Wolverine. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I think there's like 7 comic pages where he's putting up his middle finger. Then there's like, obviously, the walking bit. I think there's like a 15-second clip of him walking forward. And again, like I put out a tweet actually of Resident Evil Requiem, which is, I think, the front runner for Game of the Year right now. Most people.
Yeah, it's up there for sure.
It's up there. It's up there.
The opening of that game, I think the tweet has like 7K likes, actually, but the opening 5+ minutes of that game, I swear down, is just walking forward. I swear to God, and it's my video game, right? I literally loaded up. But hold the fuck on a minute. I remember Resident Evil, which, by the way, is my Game of the Year this year. Right? I remember so many scenes where all I'm doing is walking forward. I don't remember nobody complaining, right? In fact, it's most people's Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So I loaded it up, and sure enough, the first 5 minutes, you can't go nowhere, bro. Like, you're on a pavement, you go to the right, blocked off. You go behind, blocked off. Literally, it's like a tiny little, like, tunnel, funnel, whatever. And people say, yeah, but it's just a tutorial. Well, that opening section is also, like, basically a tutorial section. In fact, even the Sentinel boss fight, he's called Sentinel Prototype. It's basically the first boss that you come across, just to kind of test your the moves that you've learned, right? And weirdly enough, the most of the previews were actually positive about the boss. They said it was actually quite challenging. They actually died a few times. So I thought, oh, that's quite interesting, actually. So it's basically literally just to test out. I don't think it's some big ambitious thing, but again, fucking so many high-rated games have exactly that type of torso stationary boss, right? Expedition 33 has it. Silk Song has it. Fucking Doom Eternal has it. Like with the something of Sin. I forgot his name. Icon of Sin. Like I have a list of like 15 games just in the last 5 years.
These people pick and choose when Insomniac's the only people that's carrying Sony right now. Other than that, But now, you know what I mean? Look, man. And then I see someone talking about the trail scent, bro. We know. I don't even. If I have to bring up to you guys that Wolverine has a trail scent and he can smell people, like I don't need to bring that up. That's, you know what I mean? I'm talking about the clown, delusional
to the
people.
character. It's a part of his powers. He can hunt, he can sense things. He can smell people. You know, he can tell. He can tell one person's scent from another person's scent. He can hunt people down. It's a part of his character. If anyone should have that kind of ability, it would be Wolverine. I mean, like if you
100%.
played Tomb Raider, Lara Croft can do the same thing, but like Lara Croft isn't a mutant. She's just Lara Croft. She's just some British chick.
I'll tell you the funny thing about
Every
that
game
scene,
does
right?
that. So it's just
Exactly. But you know that chase scene is actually a challenge, so it's called a nightmare trial, I think it's called, right? And the funny thing is, even though there is a trail, the trail is fucking meaningless because to accomplish that trial, you have to get like a super short time. So you'll be cutting corners. The actual scent trail is basically immaterial. If you want the gold in that, unlock his memory and to unlock the components, right, for whatever you want to build. I don't know what the components do in the game yet, but whatever you unlock for doing that trial, again, the fucking trail is immaterial. You're cutting corners, you're doing it as fast as you humanly can. You're not even looking at the trail, right? So it's a weird thing to complain about when, from a gameplay perspective, it's actually a lot more skill based than the trail.
But you know what it is, Nib, right? Because you're on X a lot. This shit exists online and online only, dude. Listen, I got a group of friends at work that play games, and I'm like ranting. They're like, "What's the problem?" I said,
like, what are you talking
about? They're roasting Wolverine. They're like, "About what? What's wrong with it? Game looks awesome." So like, these people don't got a clue. I'm telling you, like, that's why when Sony's like, "Oh yeah, blackout, everybody don't turn on your PlayStation," they're looking at it like, "Yeah, okay, like, you know, we're not worried about you guys." Like, they don't care because this shit exists.
All right,
online,
Slow-Mo,
dude.
thanks for being here, Slow-Mo.
I mean, we had it with Spider-Man too, right? Puddle-gate. We had fucking, you know, it's like Sweet Baby Inc. and all this stuff. And again, I said it earlier in the show, it's the second best-selling PS5 game of all time without bundles included. So what the fuck did the boycotts and stuff do exactly?
Yeah. I mean,
listen to me, bro.
I would say that I think I sent you a couple of research papers, Nib, about the online.
Yeah, you did.
It's like, so online backlashes. There's been a lot of research that says that they really don't do much to your sales. It's nothing almost, right? So, like the way people are crapping on, I guess, PlayStation now, right? Because I always think that people crap on PlayStation. They're like the Yankees, right? Like you just gotta hate the number one company, right? That's just how it is to me. But anyway, like, it's funny because at the same time you see a lot of people hyping up some Xbox games when they come out and they fail, right? Like we've seen the sales for them. So really, online discourse doesn't play a massive part in either good or bad.
So the thing, like one of the things I wanted to mention, and it really stumps people when I mention it online, is because people always say like, oh, the new thing is that like critics are paid for. Yes, Insomniac games get received really well. And I always say to them, so across the last 5 mainline games that they've released in the last decade, right? The Metacritic average across all 5 games is 87, right? The PSN average, and PSN to review a game, you have to own the game, right? So it's not like Metacritic where any Tom, Dick, and fucking Ali can do a review even if they, you know, never played it and they're just a basement-dwelling angry person, right? So ownership verified, the Metacritic average across those games is 93. So it's actually 5 points higher than the critics. And then on Steam it's 90. Even on Steam, it's higher than the fucking critics. And just for context, on PSN, 250,000 people alone have reviewed Spider-Man 2. So you can't say critics are paid for and overinflating them when actual gamers who own these games are rating them higher than the fucking critics.
Yeah. So I got a problem right here. Elemental Hero, and hopefully I'm taking this into context right because I've asked you to clarify yourself and you did. He says Wolverine's not supposed to have a trail to follow. If Wolverine has supposed to follow his enemies, then he shouldn't be having a guiding trail. That's based on Marvel lore and story. But Elemental Hero, it's a video game. This isn't a comic book. I get it when you're going to read and then you say this is, you know, when they describe the character, whether it be a movie or it be a book, and they can, but when you're talking about, you know, he says, I understand, but you're talking to a Marvel fan that Stan Lee built and he read the comics, watched the X-Men shows. I've watched a lot of X-Men. I'm not going to say I've watched more than you. I've watched a lot of X-Men. X-Men's one of my favorite. I told you guys this on the air months ago, if not years ago. Everyone's a big Spider-Man fan. I have respect for Spider-Man. Wolverine is by far, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, went out and got everything Wolverine I could possibly get. Should I buy plates and controllers? Probably not. Still tried my best. Like, I love Wolverine to death. But, like, that's like you guys all want a Superman game. But Superman can just beat up everybody on fucking Earth. So, like,
no, it's impossible because of the scale, Mooch.
Right.
Like, you can't tame. Listen, bro, people don't have a clue how to how a game works, bro. Like, you gotta, it's gameplay elements. You gotta have shit like this, bro.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I'm saying. It's gameplay element. How are you supposed to do
Elden Ring has a bonfire and it literally has a trail and it points in the direction you should head, bro. Like, what are we doing here?
That's a great point.
Stop acting like this is not part of games, bro. It's a like, man, this is why I can't do it.
Can't do it anymore. I just can't. You're making plays.
Bro.
He's raging. I hear you.
These Marvel games are in their own universe with their own storylines, right?
Yes.
Like Marvel, that's the whole point of them. They're not going to have the exact same story as the comics or the movies. They're their own wing, and I think that's what Marvel wants out of their IPs. And now you're going to see they're going to create this whole universe around X-Men after Wolverine, right?
Yes.
If the leaks say anything. So, like, you got to take gaming less seriously. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like,
look at the new narrative.
Ledger, you're right, but I mean, I got to go back to what Blazer's saying. It's the gameplay. I mean, it's what it is. Like the fact that when you follow that scent, that is what actually the element. What's the gentleman's name in here? I'm trying to see here. He's here all the time. Elemental Hero says. Like, I get what he's saying, but that's how they're transpiring that onto screen. Like, you just don't like how they chose to do it. Like, how else is he supposed to do it? You just run around, and you're like, maybe I should go left. Maybe I don't have Wolverine's instincts. I'm playing as Wolverine.
No, that's what I mean. If he can sense people by smell and what,
right?
How else are you supposed to visually depict that?
How do you visually depict exactly? How is it that we who are not the character trying to play through the character is supposed to do that?
And they're showing
like, I can't believe I honestly
a 10-second clip.
Right.
Mooch, they're showing a 10-second clip. You don't know what happened prior to it, nothing. They're just a 10-second clip of him running, and then he slides under a door. It's like, bro, then they calling it slop. It's like, see, you know me, Mooch. I'm not a defender for the new God of War. I'm not.
No, you're not.
You should take my opinion fucking seriously, bro. Like when the cap is out of, like, I can't deal with it, bro. Like all your favorite games have some sort of element like this. All of it. It's hand holding. Like, yo, cut this shit, bro. It's a linear game, bro. Just fucking enjoy the game. If not, like I said, don't buy it.
Right.
Everybody else.
You know the Sentinel, right?
Oh, one.
No, I was going to say, you know the Sentinel half torso boss, right?
Yes.
Fucking just recently, Hades 2 features it, the Kronos, right? 95 rated. Expedition 33 multiple times has it 92. Silk Song has it 90. Resident Evil Requiem, 2 of the bosses are torso/stationary bosses. 89 rated. Metroid Dread has a bunch of them. Doom Eternal has it, 2 of them. Saros has a bunch of them. Like, it's just like, again, I told you there's so many games.
The thing is, though, the mechanics is like you need to represent them in the game, but also it's a linear game, so you need to make up for it. Like open world games generally don't have those mechanics because it's like there is no guidance mechanic for like a Skyrim. There's no guidance mechanic for Pillars of Eternity. There's no guidance mechanic for most of these games. It's like, here we go.
But do they have someone who can sense someone through smell, though?
Well, no, most of those games don't. The only RPG.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
That mechanic
Wolverine has to behave like Wolverine.
The thing is that the only thing I know with the mechanic is Witcher. But the Witcher sense isn't to sense people; it's to find like clues on animals you're tracking. Like, so if you're tracking an animal, can you see the footprints? You can follow.
It's done in every game, Dessinger. We can't. I will not let this go. Like, all your favorite games do this shit, and it's never a fucking issue, bro.
Of course, Predator is like, you have heat vision, but that's a mechanic that is like, well, how come he could see people through walls? Well, that's because he could see heat through walls because he's the Predator. Like, the fucking Predator has heat vision. Everyone understands this. So in the game, when you play as the Predator, it's like when you play the Aliens versus Predator game, you're like, why can't I see the aliens? Well, that's because they're cold-blooded. So when you turn on the heat vision, guess what? It doesn't pick them up because you can't see them. But mechanically in the game, it comes up with you could see the heat through the walls. And people will say, well, that's bullshit. you could see through walls. It's like, well, that's how heat vision works, right? So, I mean, you have
But
to.
that's the thing, when it comes to developing the game, these developers are thinking like, okay, how are we gonna put this? How are we gonna make this lore accurate? How are we gonna put this in the game where, you know what I mean? Like, dude, all I'm saying is they're picking and choosing Destiny. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
They got that Sony. Listen, bro, you know me. I'm critical on PlayStation more than a lot of people. You know, that's a fact. I'm just telling you, they're picking and choosing, bro. That's it. The whole hate train for PlayStation that started when Sony announced, like, you know what I mean? When Sony announced diskless games, you know what I mean? But GTA, they're gonna go buy it in droves and not think anything of it. It's hilarious,
bro. It's so funny. I tell you what, I saw. You know, Oh No, It's right. He posted a tweet and it had quite a lot of likes. But he was like, "Oh, they should have given it to Platinum," and the GIF he used was a fucking QTE set piece cutscene. And I'm thinking, so when PlayStation do set piece bosses, it plays itself, right? This isn't enough gameplay. And when they do gameplay bosses, then you want a QTE set piece.
Nib,
you can't even make it up.
Either Platinum makes a good game or it's dog shit. That's Platinum games right there.
Yeah.
It's either good or it's trash.
Yes.
That's the facts. Bro, the other thing I want to say too, this whole Wolverine Origins, it was done better. Like I said, I'm more than halfway through the game. I fought the same boss type 8 times. Okay, they're showing off the one Sentinel boss where you're standing and he's walking around. Bro, I know that game mechanically. You have a lunge, you can lunge at people or a boss, and you lunge, and then you have to time it so, you know what I mean, so they don't kick you off or try to like, bro, that game is cool. But a lot of the combat you're gonna see in Wolverine Origins, you're gonna see in this new Wolverine from Insomniac. So I just, people don't have a clue. They didn't play this movie game from Wolverine in 2009. No one played this shit. You know what I mean? It was a movie game. They overlooked it. Wolverine Origins is a good game, but there's a lot of features in that game. There's QTE sections in that game, like the helicopter when you're climbing up and you punch the window. Like, these dudes they're just capping on the app, bro.
I just can't believe we're having this discussion.
My only problem with Wolverine is looks not the best, and I can't wait for the Jean Grey stealth mission.
Hold on.
There isn't one. There isn't one.
Wolverine's the only playable character. They already confirmed it.
They already confirmed it.
Oh, thank God they don't have a Jean Grey stealth mission.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. But yeah.
But why would they stealth mission when she's got powers, bro? Like, even if they did have her, it wouldn't be. The MJ only has stealth missions because she's a fucking human, dude. Like, she doesn't have any powers.
Yeah, but somehow she manages to body everyone. But never mind, she just.
Well, she's got a fucking zapper gun thing, right? That Spider-Man made for her.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
Why? You know what else I don't want to hear, Death Singer?
But that's why, Death Singer, you know what you're doing? This is the thing, right? We never apply this to other games. We know that they're video games. Fun factor, right? People in video games always do crazy fucking stupid shit that doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
Like in Gears of War, you'll have someone running through like 50 million people shooting at them, and they'll be rolling around walls and stuff and manage to escape unshot, right? It's not grounded in reality. We know in real life you wouldn't be able to escape 6, 7, 9, 10, 15 people shooting at you, right? But we give it, the benefit of the doubt because it's a game. So you're doing the same thing, but suddenly with this, all these rules and new things come in. I don't understand. Even Matty Play, when he said about the middle finger thing, obviously he didn't know the history of Wolverine, even though in the same video he said he's a massive Wolverine fan. Clearly not. But one of the things he said was like, oh, this one scene ruins the tone of the game. And I'm like, now they're like applying new rules for these games.
Wait,
right?
he said that about
serious mixed with comedy.
Wait, so he said that about the middle finger with the blades?
Yeah.
He literally, that's like his MO. Like, he does that.
That's what I'm saying.
The time.
And he said it destroys the tone of the game.
He even does it in the movies. If you
bro,
watch
he doesn't. These dudes don't know.
But that's what I'm saying,
bro. They don't.
He does it in the X-Men movies. He does it. I think it's the bar fight.
Moose, can we talk about the other thing they're saying? That it's same old Sony, same old slot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If it's same old Sony, then it's same old fucking Xbox. If it's same old Xbox, it's same old Nintendo. We're on Mario Kart 30 fucking 8. All right,
Forza Horizon 6.
Y'all pick in
Gears of War 7.
When it's a fucking problem. Gears of War storyline was going it was going down the fucking drain. That's why they're back on a prequel, buddy. Like, I hate to break it to you. Like, all these games are repetitive. All these games take from one another. It's a copycat league, bro.
Yes.
Stop it. Stop acting like this shit don't exist.
They all do it. I don't get it. I really don't. The narrative, I can't even
How
believe
many
the conversation.
Resident Evils have there been now with Code Veronica and everything? This
Oh
is
my
Requiem.
God.
What did Requiem do that's so innovative?
Yes.
It's basically, I loved it, but it's execution, not innovation.
Right.
Resident Evil Requiem is basically the same shit we've done like 13 other
Find
times,
the
right?
fucking ruby, stick it in the statue, unlock the.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's just fucking ridiculous stupidity.
Bro, in Resident Evil, you always got to find something to escape the first main hub. Like what? Like this shit is like a known fact, bro. Like I said, these dudes are clowns. And
Same
first of all,
inventory system too.
all your favorite
it's changed.
YouTubers. No, let me just say, all your favorite YouTubers, they don't beat any games. I'm telling you, hey, stop researching your fucking YouTuber. All these fucking these dick eaters you guys watch, they ain't beating no fucking games, okay? And if they play, it's because it's time for a fucking stream. Go check their profiles. They're not beating no fucking games.
Also, you have to remember most AAA games are just iterative rather than innovative. Like most games just build on themselves, and they generally reuse the assets to increase like dev time. Like if you look at like Miles Morales, it was made that quickly because they reused everything from Spider-Man and just put Miles Morales in there, changed some stuff up, and boom, there we go.
That's incorrect. I got a question for you because you mentioned that the game doesn't look all that great, and I get it; it's subjective. But you play Bethesda games, right? And they kind of look very dated.
Yeah, I know that though. But then again, I'm not going to put a Bethesda game in front of you as an example of a great-looking game, am I? No, I'm going to put.
But did PlayStation do that?
They didn't do that.
They say here's a great-looking game. I think it's just subjective, isn't it?
Well, no,
Brother, Destiny, you think Wolverine looks bad, Destiny? Though, real shit, you think it looks bad?
I don't think it's as good as their other offerings from their first party.
Like which one?
Horizon, God of War.
You don't even like those games.
No, but I can say they look really beautiful.
Brother, Wolverine is a good-looking game.
I think Wolverine looks.
I
think it looks very good.
I don't think
that's Insomniac's best-looking game so far.
You think it looks better than Spider-Man 2?
I do.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think so. Yeah,
bro, look at the facial animations from Spider-Man when you're doing these missions, bro. Nothing to take away from Spider-Man because it's a gorgeous game and there's a lot going on in Spider-Man, right? In terms of reflections and people, NPCs walking, right? The drive, all the cars. I'm just telling you, bro. You guys are not paying attention, bro. Look at facial animations, bro, from Insomniac's game.
Yeah.
Look at them.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Like I know
Very
people
good.
will say like, "Oh, I'm a shill, I'm glazing." It's weird because, like, especially even from a cinematic perspective, some of the cutscenes and some of the things that I've seen, I'm like, yes, it has tropey game stuff, but you can tell they put a serious amount of thought into framing, into the color tone. Like, you know, the bit where he does jump out of the helicopter, right? And then he does the spin, and then he goes into a dive bomb and takes out a whole convoy. Like, just the clouds and the lighting, the background, like the fidelity of his skin, his hair moving around in the wind, the explosions, the sparks.
You see, like, they complain about the stealth sections. Let's talk about that. Like that's not in every like you.
What they say about the stealth sections
in other games? Give me a fucking break, bro.
Also, I have to appreciate chat, and it's like I'm not going to play the games. I have eyes, motherfucker. I could look at a game and tell if it looks good or not. I have a functioning brain and some
fucking
eyes.
games, though. So
well, yeah, but
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Don't take it personally.
But it's like people we bring up all this shit.
the Switch players saying it looks like a PS4 game.
We've all
That's too funny,
games
bro.
we didn't play, bro. We've all criticized games that it's not for me or whatever. We've all done that.
Also, it's like people bring up all these games, but I never throw these at the forefront of graphical quality. Like I'd never put Pillars of Eternity or Divinity up against a God of War. Do they look great? Yes, but they are not a God of War. Anyone with eyes and a brain can see these are two very different things. Are they both gorgeous games?
Again, who said that PlayStation put this game out and said this is fidelity, the fidelity-wise the best? Like I don't know where these expectations are coming from. That's why I'm asking you.
Well, it's an expectation of PlayStation first party of being like visual graphical quality, right?
I got to be honest with you, I was shocked when I saw people saying online what DS is saying. When I was watching it, again, I got to go back to what Blaze was saying a second ago. I was worried about I wanted to make sure the mature content was there, right? And I wanted to make sure the character models were actually represented properly. Everything looked phenomenal. And then people were like, I don't think it looked good. And I was like, wait, I actually said to somebody, I was like, what are you talking about? They were like, I didn't think Wolverine looked that good. I was like, what were you watching? I thought it looked phenomenal.
I'll tell you what, you know, every
not the best game I've ever seen, but it's fucking looking bad,
looked
right? Good.
Bro, it's like 240p footage they're comparing to something high quality. Like, you got to be seriously fucking low IQ if you can't see the grift. Unless you're, I'm telling you, so much compression in some of these scenes and some of the shots that they're sharing. I mean, oh, look, it's like PS4. Well, obviously, it's going to look like a fucking PS4 game if the textures are all muddied together and you're using super low resolution fucking screens. Like, I swear, social media, especially X, I think that if we did like an IQ test, I actually think, I think X would come in like really low.
To be honest, if we're doing an IQ test on this chat right now, I mean, they'll come sub 30 IQ, right? Because half these people don't have a fucking clue. They talk about me like all I do is play on Xbox these days. Like, how many years behind you? Your brain is stuck.
Yeah, he plays PC. He plays Xbox games on PC.
Your brain is stuck in 2016. Like, get to 2026, please. And you know,
technically he does play Xbox. Everything's an Xbox.
But everyone does.
Yeah, true. Even PlayStation is an Xbox these days.
But the thing is, it's like, I didn't see it. I said it doesn't look as good as PlayStation's other offerings. I didn't say it was bad. I said it doesn't look as good.
And what you said, what you really said, it doesn't look as good as some of the best looking games of all time. That's what you're saying, and that's not a bad thing, really, because God of War and Horizon are some of the best looking games.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
But, and so I would attribute that as an expectation for PlayStation first party, visually outstanding games. That should be. I
don't know, man. I think you know Mariport, the section where he's like hovering up on the rooftops. Bro, like, look at the fucking GI. Look at the amount of geometry. You can see buildings like vast into the distance. All the street lamps are like have bounce lighting and everything. Like, I don't know, man. I think people are confusing compression with like graphics.
There's a bunch.
It's going to be optimized too, right?
Correct?
Like, it's 60 FPS on the base.
Yes.
So
the Pro's going to be like light and magic. But hear me out for a second, guys, real quick. And you guys, I've had my fair share of Wolverine comics, but I'm not going to sit here like everyone online and be like, I'm a pro. I'm not a pro. But I'm going to say Wolverine. Blaze, Wolverine had a bunch of different looks in comics, right? And so he goes here, Elemental Hero says, when I watched the trailer, I saw some red flags, and there was more being shown. I said to myself, what the heck did they do to Wolverine and the famous Marvel characters? And I'm like, so I've seen Wolverine looks different in some of the comics, doesn't he? He's like huge and like burly in some of them. Some of them he's like thinner. The cartoon he's thinner, right? In some of the the movie's a guy. But I'm saying like the different interpretations of comic and cartoon of X-Men series, Wolverine's had different looks. The character model is based off of that human actor, right?
Yeah.
And I got to be honest with you, I thought they kind of did a really good job of collaborating between what was the comic and what was.
I think he looks awesome, man.
I think it looks great, right? And even a lot of people remember a lot of people's intro to Wolverine is the movies, right? So Hugh Jackman. People will say this is a really good blend of what the comic and the movies have brought together. Now I know comic book fans will say, no, it's got to be 100% comic. That's fine. You can argue that, and I respect you for being a huge comic fan. I really do. But a lot of people were also introduced to Wolverine through the movies. Some are just through the cartoons, right? So like there's different looks there. I thought they did a really good job with the character model, actually.
I think so too. And I think like from a narrative perspective, the thing is Wolverine is not just all rage roid. He actually harbors a lot of pain and suffering and darkness in his life, right? It's one of the things, even in the movies, they do touch on it. Why? I forgot with Deadpool, right? When she goes into his mind before they put the helmet on her, the Xavier's sister.
Yep.
Like the reason she freezes is because he's been through so much shit. She's like, oh, like it makes her tear up, right? He has a really haunted past. So I like the fact that I forgot his name, Liam something, right? Even though he does look gruff and hardcore, you can still see there's like, he'll be able to emote a little bit. Like sometimes the problem is Wolverine's and we don't get any narrative depth. Right. Whereas I feel like with this character, we are going to get.
I thought we were past the phase where and you know, these Xbox fucking guys, you know what I mean? It's like they get a little fucking hope. Gears is only on fucking Xbox. Bro, sit the fuck down, please. All right. It's like, I thought we're past the phase where if a game looks great, you are going to find means to play that game. Like, I can't believe we're still in a point of time where people are avoiding games because it's on what said platform.
Right.
Like, brother, I own it all. And I'm not saying everybody has the means to own it all, But I love games, bro. I love games. So if a game looks good, I don't care if it's on the Switch too, like Dust Bloods. Me and Mooch are gonna play that shit tomorrow,
that's right. Yeah.
or if it's on the Xbox. I don't care. If the game looks interesting, I'm gonna find a way to play it. That's it.
Because you're not a tourist, you're a real fan of the hobby.
Also, bear in mind, Mirko said in the chat, it's not that I hate PlayStation. They don't make anything for me. It's like I have a Switch for Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. Why? Because Nintendo had the courtesy to make a game for me. And yes, it is an RPG. Congratulations, that's what I want. If you cater to me, I will come to you. Guess who does not cater to me right now? So why should I go to you if you're not offering me anything?
So what if they made a new IP that appealed to you?
If it was a full-fledged RPG, I would be there for it. Yeah.
What do you mean?
I was going to say,
let's
not get into this.
Let's not go there.
Let's not do this again.
That'll go.
I'm gonna go something super easy. Just make like a Witcher 3 or a Red Dead 2. They can easily do that. PlayStation has the talent to pull off a game like that.
Witcher 3, but that holds your hand. Why would you want to play that?
Witcher 3 is a damn good RPG. What do you mean?
But it holds your hands, bro.
I mean,
you got Witcher senses. Why couldn't you find the monsters by yourself, bro?
Yeah, you see, I'm not arguing that. I just want PlayStation to make an RPG.
I hear you. I know you.
Listen. I hear you.
Yeah. I was going to say, I saw a funny thing, a new like viral thing where people were like pitting Phantom Blade against Wolverine, which is funny because they're both on PlayStation and they're funded by PlayStation. But it was a funny thing. But again, it kind of speaks to the kind of people we're talking about who are not really fans of Wolverine. Why would you expect Wolverine to have like 50 different weapons with magic attacks and stuff? That's not fucking Wolverine.
Right.
Or if you want like, a Metal Gear Rising style super fast, like some fucking anime style
gamers,
combat.
Bro.
That's
don't need games. That's a fact. Bro, do a little investigation work. It's not hard. Your favorite YouTuber does not play games. I guarantee it.
Yeah, like when they say it's not innovative, and you say, okay, what in the combat did you want to see that would be innovative? They can't answer fuck all, dude.
No,
and all they're like, oh, maybe like a Devil May Cry, but it's like Wolverine isn't fucking Devil May Cry, dude. He's not gonna behave like Bayonetta. That's not what the fans of Wolverine want.
Brother, it's old good, new bad. That's the whole.
Well, that's it. That's it. Right there, Blaze. You nailed it. Right here, Elemental Heroes back. He goes, and I find it interesting what he's saying. That's why I'm reading. He goes, but Wolverine's supposed to be more hairy, more muscular, arrogant, tough. Like when I saw the Sabretooth scene, it was like Wolverine was supposed to, dex Sabretooth. Sabretooth loathes and despises Logan. So I agree with what you're saying. The part I don't agree with, more hairy. One of the things that Insomniac did, very first thing, was focus in on Logan's shoulder and how you can see the human, like the hair coming off of his arm.
Brother,
I tell you what's happened, right? He's looked at a fucking blurry ass compressed shot, like the dopey fucker he is. Sorry, I don't know who this guy is.
You have to look at a different
he has not realized that the compression has rubbed out all the detail. Bro, he's fucking hairy as fuck if you look at the 4K footage or the main screenshots, the PNG screenshots and the high quality JPEG. He's hairy as fuck. Like you said, they literally made a point of flexing his hair in that scene with the arms, right?
Yes.
I'm telling you, I know exactly what screenshot he's talking about, where some grifter has just used the lowest quality image that makes him look like a bold-faced fucking baby.
Come on.
He isn't.
Go out there and look for yourself. Don't just use some other image that's off of X. I got a couple super chats, but this is a great question also. I want to just put this out there. Ocelot, thank you. He says, had to pause for a bit, but Marathon is my game of the year. Shout out to you, Ocelot. Midway 77, he says, 2 words, gentlemen, Sony hate. That's all it is. Babor is here. He says, it's Steam gamers' disgusting behavior, jealousy. Shout out to Babor. He's always going to him and DS always going back and forth. Alvin says, Sentinel is first level. This is interesting. Sentinel is first level. Might be a tutorial boss. Imagine seeing the Demon Souls tutorial boss early and painting the whole game. It doesn't make sense. So he's saying what we're seeing, an early boss possibly, that's not something you should be judging the rest of the game on. This is a good question for the panel. Glinser says, which other X-Men deserves a game? He says, I vote for Storm. Interesting. Nice pick.
No, it's hard. I'd say it's hard to make a Storm game properly.
Cyclops?
Cyclops will be easier than Storm because you have to factor in Storm's powers, and then like
I don't know if
I don't think we'll get it, but I'd love Gambit, dude.
Yes, Gambit. I vote Gambit. Yes.
Like I could also see Professor X. Like
can I enjoy Wolverine first?
Yes, go ahead. No,
Blaze,
listen, Glitzer does this every single podcast. He'll throw a crazy question out there. It's great.
I know it's not.
Can I enjoy Wolverine?
Guy. I know it's not a good guy, but I would love a Magneto game.
Magneto would be nice, but I mean
Magneto game would be kind of fire because from his point of view, and you can. Like, because he's very complex character too, and it's like you can have
Mooch.
Professor X game would also be fine.
Real shit, bro. This is why I'm going so hard for Wolverine. It's not. I'm not even like a big superhero guy, bro.
Right.
I was in my concerns with the game. I kept saying, I was like, yo, Insomniac, do not fuck this up. You better have fucking blood by the fucking bundles, bro. Don't fuck this up, bro. Make it gory, make it visceral. And they did that. So now that I'm seeing people hate this shit, I'm like, all right, bro. I'm serious. Dude, I don't want, listen, if you don't fuck with Wolverine, like, yo, me and Gaz, we had like a little face off on my Discord. I told him to go fuck you. But Gaz is my brother. I know a lot of guys don't like him because he's ex, but Gaz, I fuck with Gaz. This is my guy. But he's wrong, bro. He's wrong. He's completely wrong about it. Completely.
By the way, Mooch, you were saying the first boss in Demon Souls is Phalanx, right? It's just a fucking jello blob, dude. With shields on it.
Yes.
And all it does is slow move around.
That's what he's saying.
Like
it's
1 miles per hour, and you just fucking waylay.
I mean, to be honest,
with fire.
with
fire. That's it. Yeah.
Most JRPGs do that too. Like the initial enemies are pretty easy. The bosses are kind of pretty easy because they get you into using the combo attacks, working with your party, and then they let you off into the game, and then you come across all the harder shit.
But that's the Sentinel as well, though.
This is a Wolverine
I shouldn't say
game.
Sentinel. It says Prototype Sentinel. This is
supposed to empower you. Like you're supposed to enjoy fuck shit up. Like these people are looking too much into too much handholding. Meanwhile, they can't even beat the second boss to Dark Souls 3. It's like, get out of here, bro.
It's wild. Bums, it is absolutely wild. No, listen. Here's the other thing that I think is going to be the big middle finger, Blaze, is when this game comes out, just how much it sells. I think this game is going to sell insane.
I don't think it's going to do as much as you like a Spider-Man or something.
I didn't say as much as Spider-Man, but it's going to do very well.
How popular is Wolverine? Like in
the
list of Marvel characters.
Literally. So let me put it this way. Look. Go ahead and look at the Deadpool. And Ryan Reynolds is a great Deadpool, right? Go watch those movies. Go look at the numbers that the Deadpool movies made, and then look at the Deadpool Wolverine. You throw Wolverine in there, all of a sudden, that movie was killer.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the more popular characters.
Yes.
Bro.
Okay. If he's one of the more popular, then yeah.
Absolutely.
It's Spider-Man, Wolverine, Iron Man, then Deadpool and Hulk and Captain. There
we go. Okay, yeah. I thought Iron Man was.
Listen, Spider-Man is just look at Brand New Day doing phenomenal numbers. People are going to see it 3-4 times. That's how good it is. Spider-Man has a following that I'm not even going to mess with. Like I'm more of a Wolverine fan, but I'm not messing with Spider-Man numbers.
Yeah, Spider-Man's different.
Yes.
Now EA has Saudi money. They should go recycle the mechanics from Anthem and make an Iron Man game.
Well, we've been saying
that would be a perfect Iron Man game if you take
absolutely.
It would be hard to make because of the ability for Iron Man that he can pretty much go fucking anywhere. It would be kind of hard for them to do.
But also, but their flying mechanics are pretty close to what Iron Man would need to fly around. Like flying around in Anthem is kind of
the mechanics were spot on. I think are pretty damn close. I'm with you on that. But Blaze is saying it's another, whenever you have a flying type of superhero, that's a challenge. I think
they're gonna have to come up with a reason why he can't leave your map that you're playing on. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, to be fair, most games do have like a boundary wall anyway, and I know it breaks immersion, but I mean, most games have that anyway.
Brother, why do you think you don't think Superman? You don't think Superman's a super popular character?
Oh my
brother?
God.
They can't do it. They literally can't do it. How are you gonna make? Even if you have a Grand Theft Auto size map, it's still not enough, bro. It's too foolish.
Well, also it's like you couldn't have any good opponents for Spider-Man without like destroying half the city. I mean Superman, because Superman's powers are just insane, right? So it's, I mean, although to be fair, Batman did body his ass. So I mean,
Did you say
Hey,
Batman?
I'm
I'm on the
Superman
pre-orders
games out
page
there.
now, right?
Hey,
In the
you like the
UK.
Batman games, Death Singer?
I actually enjoyed Arkham.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, brother. I'm sure you like the Batman.
I'm sure he does. Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
I want to
you
get into it.
do.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get into this.
I definitely.
Those are
enjoyed
good
them
games,
back on
aren't
the-
they, huh?
I
Good
definitely
games.
enjoyed them back on the 360. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you're right.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
You're right. Yeah,
I was going to
enjoyed
say, so right now, the top pre-ordered games. GTA, unsurprisingly.
Right.
FC27, Wolverine. Wolverine is ahead of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4.
Mm.
But the funny thing is, Modern Warfare 4 has a 10% off deal right now. PSN, at least in the UK. And Wolverine is still ahead of it.
Oh, damn.
It's still ahead of it.
But yeah,
I'll check.
I totally enjoyed the Arkham games on the 360. Bear in mind, but sure, that was when I liked those types of
The
games.
Arkham games still hold up.
Except
No, they look
Assassin's
good.
Creed, you still like them now.
Oh no! Oh no! Valhalla pissed me well off, and then Shadows. Bear in mind, you keep bringing this up, and I keep telling you. I don't know how else to tell you, Nib, because you don't seem to get it, my guy.
Mate, I was here on the
Games,
podcast every
right?
time you were
No,
hyping Shadows.
I hyped it up.
Every time you were hyping
yeah,
Shadows.
guess what? I hyped it up. I played it for
Yeah.
one day.
I was, he does
I-
like these kind of
I-
games.
I played it for one day. Guess
I
what?
told you we didn't
uninstalled
like
the
that.
I uninstalled the fucking game. Why? Because it's fucking dog shit. So I was.
Have you
hyped
played
for it.
Black Flag, the remake?
I haven't played the remake of Black Flag. No.
It's a decent game.
Well, I know
I
Black
haven't.
Flag is a good game because Black Flag is the best Assassin's Creed ever made.
Mm.
But
Uh,
I tell you what, you guys
Hmm.
should play
I'm not
next, right?
myself.
Mooch,
What do you
Mooch,
got?
you and Laze or whoever
Yeah.
you stream with. I don't know
Yes.
who you stream with.
And
but
lazy, yes.
play Big Walk. Trust me, man. Big Walk. It'll be fun on the stream.
I was gonna bring that up to Blaze,
Yes.
but I was like, I don't know if Blaze would talk to me again after I brought it up. But
Yeah,
I
I beat it yesterday with my cousin. It's fucking hilarious, dude. I just love it.
It is-
It's
no,
such
listen,
a good game.
it is a
what's
great-
the game called? Let me look it up.
It's called the Big Walk. It is
Big
actually
Walk.
it's a very
It's on
Big-
PS Plus.
it's a very
Walk.
fun stream game, Blaze. A lot of people like it can be fun.
Now, Mooch, you know you're 0-2 with picking
Buddy,
games now. I'm
Buddy,
saying you're
listen, I'm
0-2.
not taking the Gears rap, but I will take Borderlands 4 is
Gears. I
my
like
fault.
Honestly, it's the best kind of streaming
Oh,
game
I've seen
because
this fucking game. Holy
yeah,
shit.
because it's a co-op puzzle game. So all of you have to work together.
Yeah,
one person's
I
fucking
like
giving
that. Yeah, 'cause if
instructions,
somebody
one
fucks up-
person's in another room.
If you mess up, you're done. Like, you got to work together, and it does make it comical, and it can be fun for the audience.
It's really good, dude.
I think it's-
really
I think
fun,
it's-
and it's just
we can stream it.
I think it's on
it's
PSN.
it's an adventure. At the end, you feel really accomplished.
Nib, is it PS Plus this month?
It is PS Plus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's PS Plus this month. Yeah.
it's the highest rated game of the year, by the way, so far.
Also, I was
Really?
thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are loving it.
I was
Yeah.
thinking.
I think it's like
streaming-
92 on Metacritic or something.
Streaming Zero.
Yeah, I
Company.
downloaded it. I downloaded it off of PS Plus and I played it for a little bit. It was fun.
It is
but
fun,
yeah,
yeah.
92.
But it is much better in with your friends or
It's better with
It's not-
friends,
it's
and
not-
if
Some
you
of my
have,
favorite games of
Yeah.
all time have bombed on Metacritic. Some of my most favorite games of all time haven't done well on Metacritic. So Metacritic is a thing I only use to win an argument, but I really don't care for Metacritic. I really don't. Unless
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
I mean,
cheating.
I-
You know what I mean?
totally
I
agree
would
with
give it
that.
an 8.5 personally.
Yeah.
The thing is like I was thinking of streaming Star Wars Zero Company because how I love the XCOM things because I already.
Oh,
got
that
this-
racing Star Wars shit, Moose was streaming that. That's a fact.
the racer,
already
yes,
got-
but
I
he's not talking about the racer. He's talking about the
Yeah, I know.
XCOM. Oh yeah,
he
racer
likes the
one,
XCOM,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I was talking
The
about the
Star
XCOM
Wars
game.
Racer is going to be phenomenal. I really do. I feel
Yeah.
like it's going to be so good. The only thing I hope it's that I'm going to use one of DS's. It has to be buttery smooth. You know what I mean? It's got to be that good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, I'm excited for it because it's Wipeout but Star Wars. So
Mm.
I'm here for it.
There's too many games, dude.
I know.
I'm still on fucking Poker right on Switch 2. I just got the Switch 2. And I look
Poker
at
what?
September. Pokemon Poker.
Oh my
It's
god.
like imagine Animal Crossing,
Don't
but
get
Pokemon.
me
I don't
started.
need to thank you for that, bro. You just ruined my night. Thanks.
I agree.
It's just fun, dude. You build a base with Pokemon and you attract.
Yo, Neb,
Oh, my
Neb.
Lord.
When we
Yeah.
were streaming, was it last night? Somebody wrote in the chat, they're like, "Hey, Mooch, did Nib leave the podcast now that he got a Switch too?" And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
"No, dude."
No.
They
Don't
did
get
say
me
that,
wrong.
they
It's
did
not
say
like
that, bro.
I'm not as high on it as my other games.
No, I hear you. I hear you. It was funny.
It's fun, yeah. But I look at September. Literally, I've got the page right now. It's like, fuck. What am I supposed to buy here? Like, I want like 6-7 games. Like, it just.
I know.
It's not feasible.
That's the thing. Like, you only have so much time, right? Like, I mean, Mortal Shell 2 has my attention.
Shit, bro.
But look at this weekend. I got Mortal Shell 2, right? Then we've got the Dusk Bloods. And then we also got Call of Duty. Yeah, Call of Duty beta's out. I'm playing that shit. Like, that's 3. Like, 2 of them I understand on Monday will go away. So Mortal Shell's my continuous game. But like, it's freaking, it's a hit. And then you got September 4th week is isn't that Onimusha? And then you have something else coming out.
Onimusha, Phantom Blade Zero.
No. Phantom Blade
Dawnwalker.
No, Phantom Blade Zero is end of October now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
Yeah. The thing is, it's like me personally. When I look at September, some games have to take a backlog.
Control Resonance.
It's mainly
Control
because
Resonance. Yes.
Every game I want to play.
Plague Tale Resonance.
That's a pass from not a pass. That's a backlog. I'll see you later. I'm all right with the rats.
That is definitely a pass.
Silent Hill, Townfall.
Yes. Yes. Listen, I'm anything Halloween horror. Sign me up.
Let's stop talking.
Oh shit! Final Fantasy Resonance is on PS5 as well.
Yes, it is.
I bought a Switch 2 for that.
Wow,
Wait.
you did? Oh
no!
Wait, hang on a minute. You didn't see the announcement after the show?
No, I did not. I've got
okay.
I'm like one of those low IQ.
Nibs looking for his receipt. I got
no. To be honest, I would have bought it either way because, like, that shit is gonna be much.
Well, Nib, the one thing you like to do, you will take gaming on the go. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the Steam Deck, I really do. I even like the PlayStation Portal, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I took a trip last week, right? I brought my Steam Deck with me.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine, but I'm not one of the. You're one of those people. And Nib, I'm only saying this because you've mentioned it on air. Like, you'll take your handheld and you'll go somewhere in the house. I very rarely will do that these days.
Okay.
So I don't. By the way, that's not discrediting, but I can see why the Switch 2. For you is really going to be a phenomenal device for you.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm telling you now, I'll play Resonance on the Switch 2, even though I have the PS5 Pro, because it's like a 2D kind of game, right? Like, why do I?
Bro, that fucking Switch 2, man. I'm telling you, I just to get the Dust Bloods to work, I had 3 updates. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta fucking get this shit.
It's true.
Going.
It's so true.
Someone said I don't like create. Bro, you know what I recommend you play, Mooch? And you can play this with your girl or whoever.
What do you got?
It's called Reanimal. It's a horror.
Oh yeah, you and Jack streamed it.
I streamed that with Jack the whole game, bro. That was the most creative. I've never played a game like that.
Wait, let me ask you a question. Was that better than It Takes Two?
I have not played It Takes Two. I played the other one.
I played that with the missus, and honestly, we really enjoyed that. We got the platinum in that. That was actually
What's
fucking.
the other 2 games he made? He made
Brothers,
A Way Out,
Split Fiction,
and A Way Out,
and Two Brothers
and Two Brothers. Yeah,
A Way Out.
He made A Way Out, right?
A Way Out.
Yeah,
yes.
A Way Out. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But dude, Reanimal is fire, bro. I'm telling you, it's different.
Let me look for it now.
I didn't play. What was the one?
Does things that I've never seen in games. Bro.
What was the one he just made recently? Split something. Splitgate. Split
Fiction.
Split Fiction.
Love that game.
Yes.
Split Fiction. Yeah.
So I'm down for that too. Wait, so Blaze, I got to ask you while we're on air because I like Dusk Bloods, which is a really terrible name. That game right there, I'm very excited for. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm definitely gonna dock the Switch 2, play it with a controller, and then me and you are I'm just gonna put a headset on through my phone and Discord.
That's it.
That's it, right? I mean, am I missing something here? Because I don't have anything for Switch that's a headset besides, I don't.
The animal looks creepy, man.
Yeah, that's a good game. It is a good game. I watched Jack and Blaze stream that. That was funny as hell. Plus, you guys yelling at each other was even funnier.
I'm telling you, dude, big wolf. That's the one you should stream.
Nib, I'm gonna stream. Listen, we're gonna probably stream that, but I'm telling you, I'm gonna find you if I hate it.
I was just gonna say he will write you on Twitter.
You might hit. I don't know. The thing is, do you like solving puzzles?
Not really, but you know what? If it's with a group, I can see the funny moments. I can see
yes,
with a group.
That's the thing. I was actually going to bring that up, and I was like, "Oh man, I can't take the criticism
it's funny
on that
because,
one."
like, it depends. Okay, so I will just give you this tip, right? If it starts getting frustrating, you can just switch to iChat because basically the game has a chat system inbuilt, and a lot of the puzzles require you to you won't be able to hear each other like from multiple rooms. So you have to use like kettles and fucking knock on the fucking things to like, say it's the person in the third room has to stick a thing onto the wall, and it's like the shape of 3 things. So someone on the first room has to go ding, 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 and then the second person ding, 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 and you kind of have to communicate.
So we have to wait.
The third person.
So we wouldn't use Discord for that. Then we would put our headsets on and we would play that through game chat.
Yeah, if you play it in the game chat, it's far more challenging. But because sometimes when it was too fucking time consuming, we'd switch to
everybody
party
I
chat.
watched stream that though, Nib. They were all in Discord.
Yeah, Discord. I saw it too.
Yeah, so they kind of cheated. It's just like not as difficult when you do that.
Okay.
Because you can just conversate normally, but there's some puzzles where like it's all proximity based, right? So one person, say you fire a flare from like obelisk or something, right? And it fucking fires it into the distance. Then someone else has to go to that other point to fire another one.
You know what we could do, Mooch? We could just deafen up.
Yes.
We can all deafen, and if if we have to have an emergency meeting because it's been an hour, then we can.
Yes, we could definitely do that.
No, because you get these walkie-talkies, right? And to talk across the map, you need to use a walkie-talkie. But at one point, we're like,
fucking Mooch.
Yo, people in the chat are really. They're saying they try it out. They're like, yeah, it's really good. Like Gambit, he says, Big Walk has great use of mechanics and tech. Listen, I'm down.
By the way, shout out to Mooch's chat. I've seen you guys. It took you guys a little bit, but you guys are starting to finally come over to Twitch.
Yes, please.
Finally.
It's right there. I tell every Saturday, 11 to 4, 11 to 5, 11 to 6, depends on the game, and then Tuesday
unless
nights.
Mooch stubs his toe.
That's right.
Be there.
Or unless Lazy zaps himself and runs out of electricity. One or the other. Shout out to Lazy. He's probably listening right now. Just been like, you motherfucker. So real quick, I do want to bring up this. This is kind of big. The GTA 6 stuff. You can't say when the first leak, when you first saw that, I remember I clicked on it and I was like, this is, I just thought it was going to be fake. And then I'm watching it and I'm like, well, I mean, with AI nowadays, you never really know. But now there's this whole thing that's going on, right? They're holding like Take-Two for ransom and shit. But like, what do you guys think? People are saying this is maybe a 2 or 3 year old build. Some people were saying the meta on it was reported somewhere around 2023.
Not only that, a lot of the videos going out, Mooch, they were whoever recorded it while HDR was on, so the color palette is completely
it's
off.
faded.
It looks dull. But no, listen, man. Even if it's a 2-3-year-old build, I like what I see, bro. It's GTA, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I like what I see, bro.
Yeah, I mean, someone said online, like, again, fucking, it's just nonstop. Hey, I'm about to go in on this GTA thing now, but like, they were like, oh, it's so unambitious. It's just Red Dead 2 with cars. And I was like, not only is that kind of what GTA always kind of been, and this is the classic next evolution, because GTA is kind of a life sim as well, right? It's got traffic system, you can have fucking businesses and all this other shit, right? It's always been like that. But like, yeah, and it's like, why would somebody not want that? Like Red Dead but modern, Red Dead 2 but modern. That's fucking amazing to me, dude. Like,
sounds amazing, right?
Well, Blessed Red said, I'll say this. He says, I'll say one thing. All these videos were at 30 FPS. Blessed. If we're talking about something that was off a guy's phone, A, B, it was also 2-3 years old. Listen, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying I wouldn't exactly. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was 60 frames. I'm not going to tell you it was 30 frames. That was an old build.
That's Blessed. Listen, Blessed Red, he's not going to admit in the chat. I was no pony. But in 2016, he made the switch over to PC. I think it was 2016. And from that day forward, 30 FPS was unacceptable to him. You know,
that was it.
Shout out to my guy. Blessed Red.
Shout out to Blessed Red. Yes.
Here's the thing, though. It's like everything Nib just explained. All that is done through the CPU, right? You understand all the AI, the NPCs, the cars and everything, the time of day, the clouds, the weather, all that is handled by the CPU, right? It's all the simulation of the game. Now, GTA is, Rockstar is renowned for their simulation. Like, they want to make sure everything's perfect. And guess what? A lot of stuff requires the CPU. Now, the GPU is great, but that CPU is still dog shit. You could glow it up with a little bit extra clock, but it's still a dog shit CPU. So it's like, how much heavy lifting?
What about this whole? Let me tell you something. DS, I'll refrain to you as the expert on this. Like, but what about the whole thing with PSSR 2 and having some of the FSR 4 capabilities? Like that has been discussed. Is any of that viable?
See, that's the question mark. Is how much heavy lifting does it do, right?
Right.
How much can it affect it, right? Because at the end of the day, they might go, well, we could get a 40 mode because people like the 40 mode, right? And they could just say, okay, we'll settle on the 40, and then you can have your 30 because they probably tried to get 60. It was unstable, and they're like, well, we could just do 30 because GTA 5 technically could have run at 60, but they decided to lock it to 30 because it was like, okay, this is going to work. Even though other games could run at 60, they decided to keep it at that. Red Dead Redemption 2, it launched 30 FPS. Rockstar always launches their games because they focus on visual fidelity and simulation. Look at Red Dead 2 when it came out. Absolutely drop dead gorgeous game. Guess what? Something has to take a hit, and it's the CPU that takes the hit. And the CPU was dog shit in the PS4. It's dog shit in the PS5. So I'm assuming, this is all assumptions, but I think you're going to get a 30 FPS and a 40 FPS mode.
Okay, so all right, so let's just go with DS's analysis. So, Gaming Ledger, real quick, a 40 FPS with a magnitude and scale as big as GTA 6. Is that a W or that's not enough?
I'm still going to play it. Regardless.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't give a fuck if it's 30.
That is the
40
correct
would be
answer.
lovely. 40 is my preferred, actually. But just because I like bells and whistles rather than the 60, I'd rather take the 40. But yeah, I'm going to play either way.
And I don't know about the CPU and like what Death Singer is saying here. Like, I know that the GPU also has a lot of rendering of a lot of stuff, right? Like even the
most
clouds
games are
outside
GPU dependent. That thing, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Most games are.
Yeah, most games are, but some games are CPU bound, as you know.
But what about the 15 years they took to make the game? Are people going to excuse that and say, well, you've taken 15 years to make this game. How do you not, you know what I mean? Because, brother, people want to act like, oh, it can't run this game. This can't run on a play. This can't run on a Switch. But everything is scalable now, bro. Everything is scalable, bro. Okay, you know what I mean? Elden Ring's on the Switch, bro.
It is scalable, but I guarantee you, if they dropped it at 30, people will still buy it in the billions anyway.
Brother, this shit can drop frames every 3 seconds. Right, I don't care.
So that's what Rockstar will settle for the 30, because they'll be like, we could guarantee this is a lock. We could turn the ray tracing on. We could turn all the bells and whistles on. Because bear in mind, if they want to throw all that ray tracing shit in there, that also takes up power. Right, so now you have to do all that extra shit. So they might just focus on the 30 and then do the visuals, like they did with Red Dead 2. You look at the visuals of Red Dead 2. Could they have dialed back to make a 60 FPS mode? Yes. Did they do it? Fuck no, they didn't, because they didn't want to compromise their visual fidelity.
So if you look at like something like Wolverine, right? Obviously, Insomniac made it 60 FPS on the base.
On the base,
and the quality looks pretty. Right, that's the base, and so you're telling me that there's no conceptual way that Rockstar...
Let's not compare the size and scale of GTA to Wolverine.
Okay, it's fair, but what I'm saying is they've had these dev kits for years, right? And they're only doing it to console specs, right? They're not even including PC. So you don't think that they're going to make it run smooth? I don't get it. Like, it's
always launch that 30, bro. Tradition.
You know
I mean,
it's gonna launch at 30, and it's gonna, because that's what's gonna be the smoothest. But also, you get to keep all your ray tracing, your ray trace global illumination, your ray trace shadows, all your bells and whistles. You get to keep. Bear in mind, all of this is budget. All of this is budget. You need to put somewhere. And I'm sorry to tell you, that CPU doesn't have the budget required for a lot of this. So, that is the issue.
Listen, I ain't saying shit because I have no idea. I don't know. We just don't know. I don't know. I just don't know.
It's Rockstar, man. They're gonna make it. well enough where you're not going to worry about how it's performing.
Brother, they're gonna resell you the PC version in a year anyway, so it don't matter.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they'll sell you the PS6 version anyway. Who cares? And they'll sell you the PS7 version.
And that'll be the selling point. PS6 GTA runs at 60. Blah blah
yeah,
blah.
there we go. Yeah, you see,
Yeah.
and it's gonna run at 60 and have path tracing, right? That's gonna be the selling point of PSX, right? See, like you're gonna have all the good stuff, but at the end of the day, it's still a Zen 2 CPU, right? And that is an old CPU, like that is nowhere near current day. And
What CPU you got right now? This one?
I got a Ryzen 7800 X3D.
Ew.
What do you mean, ew? That's like the third best CPU you can get. Fuck off.
Third, ew. I don't do third place, brother. You good?
Yo, please. Stop
just playing.
You're half time. But the thing is, it's like, you know, my CPU is just fucking god tier. But you know, it's like the thing is, I think you'll get a 30 and a 40 mode. I think the 40 is going to be the selling point.
There's a lot. I will say this though, DS, and I'm not saying this is you. You haven't said this. Maybe you've said it once, but I'm not holding it to you. A lot of PC channels that I see, some people, they're like the sweet spot's 40 FPS.
Well, you see,
40 is my sweet spot. Yeah.
See,
A lot of people say not
that.
everybody, but a lot of people say that is a sweet spot if you're, working out your specs to try and get a little bit more here. You want the game to really look good. You want your ray tracing. You want your path tracing. You want, bring this to 40. You will absolutely love it. And that's the way they kind of pitch it. And if you go watch some of these Steam Machine channels that are really kind of growing, and I enjoy a lot of them because I like what they're doing. They're doing some good content there. But the stuff that they're willing to sacrifice, they all have powerful PCs. But they're like, this is the great console experience. And they talk about how they have a 5070 or 5080 or 5090 or 4090. And then they're like, but I'm okay. I'm literally okay with this game at 1080p. And I'm like, well, why did you buy the $5,000 computer in the other room then? So there's just so much to it that's like,
Alex, when he streamed Demon Souls, he was playing the emulation version. And, it runs great at 40. It's buttery smooth. Like, people pick and choose when it's when it's their platform of choice.
Here's the thing, like,
a lot of the PC channels, right? Like they're more of the tinkerers, right? Like a lot of the ones that are actually, I'm not talking about like the Xbox gamers that moved over to PC that are basically console warning with a PC. I'm talking about like the actual core PC gamers.
Yes.
A lot of them are more of the tinkerers, right? So like I see those, I see them going on to Linux, and I'm like, I like Linux, but realistically, there's a lot of issues there. But you're very excited about this. But at the same time, a console's just bad, right?
Right,
they will poo-poo consoles. So it is funny.
It is.
But also you have to bear in mind, this, like, as I was saying with the CPU, right? CPU handles game logic, artificial intelligence, character tracking, object positioning, physical interactions. Like, imagine a city as dense as GTA. Now you have to handle all the AI, you have to handle all the game logic, the character, all the tracking of everything, the object positioning of everything. Then you also have to all the physical interactions. So you have to run all this through the CPU. Yes, the GPU handles visual rendering, graphics, many like particle solutions. Like, yes, it handles all that, but it's like the core. Like, that's why this game will be CPU heavy.
All I'm gonna say about this topic is, like, I have a friend that's a developer. I'm not a developer. He's told me in the past that it does not matter on how the game is engineered, because if you're using the console to do the original port, the PC ports are just going to be slightly ahead of that. It doesn't matter what your specs are to a certain extent, unless they update those games on the PC and they give you like ray tracing or whatever. But usually speaking, it's you're gonna look at the console, right? So like the CPU that you're talking about and stuff, I think they're gonna make the game good enough for it, right? If it's 40 FPS, I don't think people are gonna care.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying, don't expect a 60 mode. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I will just say to that. Obviously, I'm not saying it will have a 60 mode, but it will depend on, because obviously they'll have a lot more systems, probably the previous game, but it depends on how it's coded, right? Because it's like the viewpoint. Like, let's just say in this cone, how many systems are going on in this view cone? And when I move, I don't know, say 1,000 meters forward or something, right? It may be that they have a really clever system where beyond that point, they don't have to calculate and it's approximated, right? And maybe when you come back to it and something comes within view, and, you know, do you see what I mean? So it could be a shallow cone where there's a lot of systems within them that the CPU is computing, but the rest of it is just approximated. So again, it just depends on how they do it. Like, don't think they're going to have miles of city, like, all computed at the same time. At least I don't think that's how they'll do it, because that would be too taxing CPUs. And I think traditionally, Rockstar has been, like, amazing at
the thing is, they render most stuff all together. Like in GTA 5, the whole map is, for the most part, rendered in all at the same time. And I think they'll want to do that, because take Cyberpunk 2077, right? Sure, 60 FPS in performance mode with upscaling, but if you want the quality ray tracing and all that, you're dropping down to 30 FPS, right? This is on the base PS5.
Yeah, no, they don't do the whole map. So in your cone of vision, yes, the draw distance is there, but it's a LOD system, isn't it? So, like, everything in the far distance is extremely basic. Sometimes it's not even geometry. Sometimes it's just 2D. So it just depends on, again, how much sort of optical illusion and resource saving they do. Because in a lot of games, the stuff that you see in the far distance, when you actually zoom right in, it's like really low quality, right? So yeah, it's all down to optimization.
But it is down to optimization. But like, I look at Cyberpunk 2077, that city is really jam packed. But GTA is going to be way more packed than that. And I'm looking at the performance, and it's like, if you want the ray tracing and all the good shit, you're trading your 60, and that is not going to be as dense or heavy as a GTA city. So I can confer from that more than likely it'll be a 30 and 40 mode. You'll have a 40 with the VRR shit, where you can go to whatever it is, and then they'll give you a 30 mode with like all the ray tracing and everything. I just don't see 60 because of how taxing it is.
It's funny because, listen, the scale of GTA 6, we've said it a number of times tonight, even we've said it over the past year, is massive. But Cyberpunk 2077 has been the testing standing point as of late, and on the PS5 Pro, it is hitting 60, and it is
absolutely 60 on the PS5.
Yeah,
it's 60 on the PS5 with the ray tracing, but it's like, now that it's hitting 60 with that, with all the bells and whistles, but this is way denser than that. So you also have to factor that in. Like, the Cyberpunk City is not going to compare to GTA City with the amount of shit in it.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see.
I do agree, but then it's in different things, isn't it? Like Cyberpunk, you got all these fucking mods and stuff on your weapons, and I don't think you'll have that side of it. And obviously in Cyberpunk, you have the body modification.
Do you guys think we'll find out? Do you guys think we'll find out? What is it, August 27th or 26th, when the Netflix? You think we're going to find out if it's 60 frames? That's the day we find out, or no?
I think we'll find out closer to the time. I think they're going to hold on to that information.
Did you see the Gene Grey? Let me see. Let me send you this one.
What do you got? Let me see. I mean, Blaze, you don't think we're going to? I mean, DS is saying yes. He's saying he thinks we'll find out. You're saying that, DS, because you think we're going to get people analyzing the video, right?
I think they're going to hold off to the last moment so people can't make a decision on it. You just get that they just see GTA and they want to get the game. And
I will say, if there is a 60 mode and a 30 mode on Netflix, which obviously is like 24p, right? In most broadcasts, like, you wouldn't want to show the 60 mode because you'd just be showing a blurrier game at a lower fidelity. You'd want to show the 30 frames mode in this sort of format. So I don't know. Like, I think if whatever Netflix footage they do have, it probably will be the higher fidelity footage. I doubt it will be.
Wait, what? Say that again, Nib?
So, like, I don't know what Netflix uses, but on most broadcasts, like, you're running at 24 frames or 30 frames, right? Like, most that you watch on TV.
You're talking about the TV standards, right? The DVD is like 24, 23, and then it's 30 for live,
Exactly, yeah. So Netflix, I doubt it will be 60 frames just because we're going by TV standards. It probably will just be whatever higher fidelity mode. Because remember, if they do have a 60 mode, will have worse image quality. It will probably have less, settings, maybe less dense geometry or something like that. It wouldn't really be the ideal version that you'd want to show off. Want it to look.
I don't
I
even
know
think they're going
Netflix
to
can
announce it.
definitely, they can definitely. I don't know. I just think even if they don't show it, they can just say there's a mode. I mean, they don't have to show gameplay. They can just say
Exactly.
So Eric the engineer says, pardon me, the producer, he says, Singer misses the point. CP 2077, GTA 5 were made for HDD. PS5 uses SSD for instant assist streaming.
Yeah, SSD
That's
though
true.
doesn't help with the AI calculations. What you have to understand is the CPU has to sequentially calculate everything in the game, right?
Mhm.
So yes, okay, you can
Yeah,
load in assets. Now, loading in assets helps with the
Yeah.
GPU because it helps with the rendering and everything
Mhm.
and the rendering of the graphics. So, and in order to render the stuff, you need to have the assets there to render, right? So the assets stream in. So that'll help the GPU, but that doesn't help the CPU because the CPU
Right.
still has to focus on every single NPC. Let's say if they come out and say every single NPC in the game is going to do its own thing, all the cards are going to have its own calculations. All that has to go through the CPU. And you're taxing it, and then you're throwing more shit at it, and it has to do more calculations, and then eventually it's like, I can't do any more. So that's the issue you're running into. And because the CPU is still limited, it can only do so much. So eventually you have to come to a point where you're like, well, we can't push it much more without breaking it. So let's dial this back and then just do 30, for example. So
I got to be honest with you. So, I mean, Blaze said it. Ledger kind of alluded to it. Here we are, 13 years after GTA 5, or even longer than that. Like, and people, I mean, listen, I know everything they've released has been 30 frames. If that's their MO, that's their MO. That's fine. I mean, like you said, there's going to be a PS6 that comes out in about a year that they're going to be able to upgrade you there, right? They're going to be the PC version.
Everyone agreed Red Dead 2 could have released with a 60 FPS mode. Everyone agrees on that. But guess what they released it at? 30 and said, fuck you. And they still ain't released a 60
Yeah,
FPS
but 60 frames wasn't as ubiquitous back then. I think on these current consoles, there's like 7 games out of 4,700 and something that don't have a 60 mode.
Yeah, but
and even some games that didn't, like Starfield, now have a 60 mode. So
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
But the thing is it could have been done, but they still ain't gone back and made an upgrade for it. They just left it at 30 and said, fuck y'all. That's Red Dead 2. So it's like, the thing is, I think they're going to want to push the visuals because that's what they love to do. Like, think of Red Dead 2 when they showed it off. They pushed the visuals like fucking mad. And that game looked absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Everyone was like, yo, look at this game. And to even get it decently running on PC, you needed a 3080 at the time. Now, I know 3080 is an old car, but at the time it was, yo, this is top of the line, the 30 series.
Mate, I'm still one of those cats who would prefer 40 the new base. I think we're wasting milliseconds on 60.
Here's the thing.
Wasted frame time. I don't need 60. Man, I'd rather have a more immersive game.
Nib, you just don't know any better, brother. That's the problem.
No. The thing is,
I've got a PS5 Pro. I play most of my games at 60.
Nib, we gotta have a talk after. But
I prefer 40. Dude, trust me.
But
holy Madonna.
To Nib's point, I can't. To Nib's point, I can't give you a 60, but I could give you a 40.
See, 40. That's what I'm saying. I just need 40.
I think it honestly. What I think, Blaze. What I think. What Nibs. I'm speaking for you here. I understand where Blaze. I see where both of you. If Nib is predominantly, if not 100% console, Blaze, he's saying I'll take the 40, but give me. He wants the ultra. Yeah. He wants the ultra settings. Give me the lights, the smoke, the ray tracing.
Sometimes when I'm playing games on these PS5 Pro, and it's a 60, and the only option is 30 or 60, I'm like, for fuck's sake, just give me a 40 so I can have more of the 30.
So you don't lose. Yeah.
Nib,
so what it sounds to me is, Nib, it sounds to me that you love fidelity, high, high pixels, right?
So don't say it. I don't want to be on PC.
Brother, you're on the wrong fucking platform, Nib.
What? So every fucking other game I can be downloading fucking mods and ini files and having shader compilation stuff and shit. Look at Marvel Tokyo Fighting Souls. It doesn't even fucking.
Me and Mooch on PC all the time, bro. Yeah, you deal with shaders once in a while, bro. It's not. The only problem Mooch has had is Battlefield. I don't know why he's cursed. That's the only.
Yeah,
thing.
I don't get it. I really don't get it. But
the way I look at it is, say I bought a fucking Rolls Royce, right? if I buy a BMW, I don't know, or even let's just say a Ford, right, and it gives me issues, I don't mind so much because it only costs me, I don't know, 27k, 30k. If I'm spending 250, 300,000 pounds on a fucking luxury automobile, that shit better be reliable as a fucking bullet. Better not give me no creaks, no issues, nothing. So if I went out and spent 4 or 5k or 2k, 3k on a PC, and I have any of these type of issues, dude, that shit is going out. It's getting fucking dumped straight.
That's kind of where I am,
Nib,
especially
you
in
just
winter
look
time.
like Nib. You look like in that picture. You know, I don't really know you. You just look like you fucking. You know, you sell fucking real estate or something. You look like you like the best shit, bro. So
he likes good.
Yeah, I know, but I like the most like easy shit. I don't want to be tinkering and
Nib, listen to me, bro. I'm not trying to sell you on PC. If you don't like it, you don't. I'm just telling you, it's not bro. People make it seem like it's this, brother. You click the game. If you don't want to use a mouse, use a fucking controller. Like you don't even have to click to use it.
I know I could get water cooling and stuff, but I remember like when I used to PC game because it was my primary for a while, right? Even the fact that it would fucking act as a supernova fucking heating module for my entire room, that would irritate me after a while. I'd be like, why is this shit cooking my room? Bro?
Listen,
you shouldn't be doing
Nib, you ain't wrong. Me and Blaze went and bought it like crazy expensive window units of AC so we can fucking play our PCs.
That's what I mean.
And then shout
my
out to
balls off. I can't even wear my leather headphones.
I don't know what's happening with your PC if you're cooking.
Oh, this thing's cooking.
Yeah, that shit would run fucking crazy temps,
my runs are cool, like 70.
Well, that's the thing. We got top of the line. We got big G. You know, we got 59s, bro. This shit produces heat, bro.
Not just that, but DS.
You do, but Nib doesn't.
No, DS. Hear me
but
out.
The thing is, like,
the reason we have it though,
remember, the whole point of the PC is to
exhaust
the heat out, right? It has to go somewhere. Wherever your CPU and GPU is producing, it's going to be exhausted out into your room. So,
that's
just
it.
Physics.
So not only physics. I mean, Nib, you're right there. But like the other thing, I'm not going to speak for Blaze. I'll speak for myself. But when we're streaming, right? I have the door shut in this office of mine. Like it's a smaller room, right? So I have 3 monitors, 2 lights, I have 2 PCs going. Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, yes, you're 100% right. But I mean, like here, I only have just my streaming PC on right now and 3 monitors, but I still have the AC unit. Like there's still some heat that comes off of so it's like that's fine.
Well, it's the middle of the summer too.
It is. It is summer. That is true.
I'm not going to deny heat comes off the PC, but it doesn't cook my entire room.
Well, no, you're probably playing.
Let's not act like
the PS5,
the PS4 Pro used to sound like a fucking.
Forget the sound, Blaze. Forget the sound. The PS5 Pro cooks.
PS5 Pro is silent, bro.
No, it's quiet, but it's hot. It gets hot.
But then again, it just depends. Like if you've got like 20 lights in your room, you got 6 monitors, you got a PC over here, a PC over there, you got this. Say my
name.
Blaze, I'm calling your name. if Blaze, if your room looks like Blaze's room,
say my name.
Yes, of course, it's gonna be a fucking.
No, I play in the pitch black usually.
Like it's gonna be a fucking sauna because everything is giving off heat. The lights, every electronic in the room, everything is generating some sort of heat, so it all adds up, right? Whereas me, none of the lights are on. I just got the monitor and the PC on. And it's like,
to be honest, maybe I would like PC gaming, but it's just like, I feel like every time people tell me, it's okay now. Like, it's all sorted now.
But it's not
none of those issues. And then I do it.
It's not even about the gaming part of things. Honestly, it's just of course, the gaming is awesome. It's amazing. But like, I just like the whole, dual screen, just multitasking on Discord, chilling. Like, it's more than just gaming for me. It's just like a hub. You know what I mean? But yeah, bro, listen. When you
it makes sense when you're a content creator, right? Like,
I'll just pick up and play, dude.
I also agree. Like, I do like the PC gaming. I used to main on PC for a long time because of the 60 FPS that you couldn't get on the consoles. But now I'm more like into just optimized. Once these consoles went 60 FPS for the majority of the games, I just kind of liked the optimization, just sitting down. I like the way like the controllers just work and the features are just there. You don't have to download anything. Like I get it. It's much easier nowadays. Though I do like
Bro, you
I
can
do
never
like
beat a
Linux.
console, bro. You
Consoles,
listen, the value of a console. You come home, you sit on a recliner,
Crazy.
lay back.
Yeah.
You'll never
Yeah.
Blaze,
beat that,
Blaze.
It's
Even
just
we were
easy,
playing. Listen, we streamed Battlefield 6. I will say, and I don't care. I got a 5090. It is probably it's probably not the most. Cause I know PC people listen and go, that's not the most. It is the most demanding one that I've played in a bit. Blaze just strikes up his PS5 Pro, and he's playing it, and he's like, this game looks so fucking good.
It does. No, listen. I got
I think
Battlefield on
PS5
PC.
He's got a
is a
PC.
game
He's got a PC too,
but
but
the PSSR 2 is amazing.
It's nice. Like just sometimes it's the simplicity of just turning it on. Sometimes it depends. Like I literally, so Blaze gave me shit, which is fine. It's sort of lazy when I bought RE9. I bought RE9 on PS5 Pro. That's a game I just wanted to come home. I love fucking horror games. I don't want to sit at my desk here and play. I want to be on the couch, just chill, blah blah blah. And to be able to play that with the way that the game looked and played on PS5 Pro, that's just where I want to play it. Now, other games like like Mortal Shell 2 and shit like that, I'll play that on PC. Like that's fine. I don't mind that. But like there's just certain games like when Wolverine comes out, I cannot wait to kick back and play that shit in the family room.
No, see,
I will say
I heard Requiem looks so good on PS5, but when I seen the path tracing,
the path
PC,
tracing,
I'm like,
no,
listen,
beautiful.
I spent $4,000 for this GPU.
Yeah, do it,
do it.
do it, absolutely, man.
No, I get you. I will say, like, another reason, I know this is a me problem, right? If you know me personally, I'm very fucking detail oriented. You probably can see some of my tweets. Right? That's just my nature, and anything I research or any work I do, even when I fucking tidy, right? It's like we've got guests coming. I'm talking like every fucking every book in the shelf, and every has to be like neatly size orientated. Like there can't be no fucking. And the thing with PC, when I was PC gaming, I would spend so much time just tweaking like settings, because I'd be like, I want to see this shadow setting. Is it worth the frame rate trade off? Or this setting? And it's like, and I know that's a me problem, but I can't be dealing with it. I need to.
Bro,
I need to have
weeds,
that
right?
I barely do that,
I need to have that
honestly.
taken out of my hands. Dude. Like otherwise,
Nvidia's gonna pick the best settings for your PC 98% of the time, and you just play the game. Honestly,
Yep.
How can you trust the? Is it good though?
Yeah, because I have a frame rate counter on the top left at all times through Steam, so I know if it's running well or not.
No, but what I mean is, how do you know that the particular shadow or geometry or whatever draw distance setting
you get
is
a
the best
5090,
for
brother?
performance?
Also bear in mind when you boot up
So you
a
don't
game
worry
on,
about it.
when you boot up a game on PC, it generally says optimizing for your PC when it boots up the game. So, like for example, when I was playing Crimson Desert, it says optimizing for your PC, and then it goes to settings, it detects your hardware, and then does what's best. So, like when it threw like the cinematic preset on Crimson Desert, which is the top preset. It threw that on because it was like, okay, I have the specs available for that. I never turned any of that on. Like it automatically did all that for me. Like when I boot up for Horizon 6, it optimizes for my PC and turns on all the ray
But you know
tracing.
when like Alex Battaglia, right, does sometimes like PC settings videos.
Yes.
And when he'll go through some of them, and sometimes it will be like the ultra or this setting or whatever is not worth it to do at all because there's like no difference. Even though it's like a 5-10 frames a second difference, you know. So sometimes I feel like that's what I do, but
that
like
is
myself.
but bear in mind that's the optimized settings. That's going through every setting and doing exactly what you need for everything. That's not just running the game and letting the actual game set it up for you. He's actually manually going in. Whereas, like, if I set up the game, I booted it up, but it was like, oh, it didn't automatically turn on path tracing, so I went into the settings and turned on path tracing, right? So sometimes you have to go in and turn off different things, or like, if you think you don't need these certain settings, you could be like, well, this really doesn't do anything for me. Like in one of the games, there was like,
but don't you always? Isn't there a bit of you that is always curious? Like, does ultra to high to whatever, does it make that much of a difference from the frame rate?
Hold on, that's weird.
Yeah.
I just looked this up. Apparently, the the optimization that's automated it actually is. It makes poor choices at times, like around
Yeah,
VRAM, ray
that's what I mean.
tracing.
Because Alex's picks are usually different. Alex is usually.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
This is my favorite part about PC gamers. Is like you will say, yeah, it just works, right? And then you actually Google it, right? And then you're like, okay, it's trying to make it easier for you, and you have to give them kudos for that. But it's just not possible to get it perfect across all these hardware profiles, right?
Well, no, of course not. But most of the time, it's correct. I didn't say it was 100% perfect, did I? I just said what it tries. I said what it tries to do. But sometimes it does overshoot. Like it overshot when I booted up, for example, when I booted up Pragmata, it overshot a little bit on it, and I was like, oh. And it also undershot a bit on Cyberpunk. I was like, I can run path tracing. Why didn't you turn on path tracing? And then I turned on path tracing myself and set it up, and I was like, there we go.
Did you play through Steam? Did you play through Steam?
Yeah.
Okay, so did this automated optimization happen before or after the shader compilation?
Before the shader, after shader compilation.
After or before? Because apparently a lot of games, when one goes before the other, it kind of makes the automated optimization moot. So it really depends.
I don't really notice, but being a PC gamer, I customize my settings anyway, but that's just something I'm used to doing. Like, yes, I rely on it giving me the base. Like, for example, Crimson Desert, it nailed Crimson Desert. Like, when I booted up Crimson Desert, I was like, yo, I absolutely love this. I didn't have to change shit in the settings. But, like, Cyberpunk...
So wait, when you say that, you played the recommended settings?
Well, no, it wasn't recommended. It just automatically loaded the settings, and then I looked at the frame rate, and I was like, okay, this is acceptable. And then just carried on playing. I didn't look back, because I was like, okay, I get the frame rate I want. Well, whereas Cyberpunk, I was like, hang on a minute. I'm more than capable of running path tracing. Why is a path tracing on? So I went into the settings, and I was like, let me turn on path tracing.
They probably didn't want to put that on as default, because that could be taxing for certain cards, right?
Well, yeah.
I will say, like... Even because I actually did want to build a high spec PC, but now when I look at these prices, now I'm just like,
no. Now are you kidding me? You're gonna be at like 10. Yeah, that was 10 grand.
I missed the boat basically.
I gotta go.
I kept saying waiting for the next generation of GPU, but that next generation of GPU is going to cost the same as a house. So it's like
exactly.
I mean, to be fair, it's probably going to cost half the price of a PS6. So.
Oh, stop it! Get out of here.
No, it won't. How much is a 5900? I don't need it.
No. I meant a PS6 will be half the price of the GPU.
No, it will not.
No way.
No, PS6. I'm still sticking to my 900. No, I'm still sticking at 900 on that one. But we'll see. We'll take that'll be odds next year. I got the OA here. He says you can't take some folks seriously when they complain Wolverine's clothes regenerate. I mean, do they want Logan to go around with his thing out on his underwear? Come on, away.
Mooch.
What do you got?
Mooch, by the way, Wolverine Origins, your clothes regenerates.
Oh,
by the way.
There you go, everybody. This just in.
So the old Wolverine that everybody loves, it does the same shit. Your clothes regenerate.
Yeah.
It's you know the following scene that you posted on your X, right? Because I was like, okay, not only is it just like a dull footprint, which is way lamer than a scent, right? But it's like you're using it in corridors, whereas in Wolverine, it's Maripur, like India or whatever. And it's like a bustling city that you're on rooftops chopping around. So even that to me is like one is way visually interesting and way more fun looking than him going through these corridors following fucking footsteps.
It was so primitive. Mariko says Cerny's PS5 Pro Talk explicitly said that it has hardware in the console dedicated to processing ray tracing. PCS and consoles aren't carbon copies, DS.
No, but the CPU is still the CPU. Like, it doesn't matter what magical bullshit Cerny pulls out of his ass, the CPU is still a CPU at the end of the day. It still has to do the calculations. Nothing on Earth will change that fact. As a basic fact of game development. AI,
no, but I think what he's saying is, past that the CPU would typically do, there's other hardware on there that can take away some of that burden. So the CPU on the PS5 Pro might not be as burdened.
It might not be, but it depends how much shit they're throwing at it. And that's the problem with the game. If you're throwing a million NPCs,
And we don't-
I'm exaggerating, but if you're throwing a million NPCs at it,
I'm
even
going
if
to tell
offer
you,
some
you
of
know,
that,
I will
you
say this.
still have-
Listen, the world is massive in GTA 6, but will you guys even ride it? The leaks that are out there, and I've only watched I've watched probably like 2 or 3. I've tried, anytime I see something new, I know a lot of you probably are watching it, which I don't blame you. I want to be like right there front and center when it's shown in Netflix or YouTube or wherever you're going to watch it. But like, when you watch him in the car, right, and he's driving around, there's not a million NPCs around him. When he was playing basketball, shooting,
it doesn't actually look significantly different from GTA 5.
Right. It didn't look that much more. Yes, the one number I saw where she's driving on the beach, and there was that. Yes, there was a lot of like NPCs on the beach, but it wasn't like a zillion NPCs. You know what I mean? It was like the same as Cyberpunk in the city.
Did they show you like in the main city with all the traffic?
Well, yeah, we'll see. We haven't real. Have you seen a leaked image of that? I have not.
No. The thing is,
So-
it's like it depends where you are. Will depend the density of the.
Yes,
people.
but
Like,
I'm saying to you, I don't know if we may be giving this thing like where it's like, oh my God, everyone thinks it's going to be like Manhattan at 5 p.m. I don't think it's necessarily going to be that congested. It'll be populated, but maybe not that congested. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We have to wait and see. I don't like Nib said, let's not discuss it yet because we don't know. But Boris says Netflix has 60 FPS for sports, Remedy, and CDPR B tier.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I don't watch sports on Netflix, so maybe it could be if there is a 60.
There's
I'm not
definitely
saying
60.
There's definitely 60.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay.
All right, so let me do this. I lost my bet to Eric, the producer. He goes, "You're going to go over 3 hours." I'm like, "No, not tonight." And then I was like, "Oh, wait a minute. Actually, I'm going to lose that bet." But I do want to wrap up tonight, guys. It is almost 10:30 here in New York, and I appreciate everybody. I really do. I really appreciate tonight's show. Great panel, amazing chat. You guys kept along with us this entire time. The interactive between the chat and the panel is fantastic tonight. I'll go in reverse order here. Please, guys, while we still have over 200 here, please go ahead and hit that like button. It means the world to me. Shout out to Blaze 4K. Blaze, I know you had a long day, buddy. You literally sound like Mooch, dude, when you're writing me. You're like, bro, long fucking day. I was going to say to you, you don't have to come on, man, if you had a long fucking day. But I'm glad you came. Your timing was impeccable. I know you wanted to talk Wolverine. I wanted to hear you talk Wolverine, and you came right when we were done with that first segment, going right into it. So, Blaze, thank you for being here, buddy. I can't wait to hang out with you in like about less than 12 hours. It'll be like 8 hours. We're getting on for like the 7 a.m. Oh, we're doing 7 a.m. dust bloods, baby. So yeah, Blaze, thanks for being here, buddy. Let people know about your Twitch and of course the YouTube, buddy.
Absolutely, I appreciate everybody. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody. Nib, Death Singer, Slow Mo, Gaming Ledger. All you guys appreciate it. I had to vent it out, man. I went live myself.
I'm glad.
I vented for like a couple hours. But at the end of the day, man, make your own decision. Don't be a sheep. You know what I mean? Play the game you want to play. Don't let anybody tell you any differently. Solid cast every other Saturday after hours with Jack, Move, Lazy, me, Hardhead, and then we stream me, Mooch, Lazy Tuesday, Saturday nights. Pull up. It's a good time. Appreciate everybody, man.
Yo, Blaze, do me a favor before you bounce. Just hang in the Discord for a second afterwards. I got to talk to you after the show real quick. Shout out to Blaze for being here. Shout out to Lazy Vibes too. He's going to be there with us Saturday morning. Sir. It's awesome. Shout out to Lazy. Let me just say this: outstanding from the great Gaming Ledger who joined us, buddy. Appreciate Ledger being here. Ledger, I know that you couldn't get here till the second hour, but again, you really kind of made the meat and potatoes of the show, buddy. Ledger, let people know they can find you. And thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, no problem, Mooch. You can find me at the Gaming Ledger on X. That's where I post, but mostly about business of games. But recently, I haven't been posting as much because I've been busy. But as well as the community kind of has fallen off a cliff a little bit, right, with all the negativity. So I've kind of been away for the summer, but hopefully during the fall, I'll be more in the swing of things.
Well, Ledger, listen, you're always welcome here, buddy. Hopefully we can get you here from 7 to 9, or as Eric, the producer, will tell you, 7 to 10:30. So basically what we do here anyways, Ledger. So great to have you, buddy, as always. Nib, welcome back, buddy. It's not the Switch 2 that took you away, but you are back with us. Great to have you, Nib. The audience loved you. They missed you. I know I missed you, buddy. Great to have you back, Nib.
It was a great panel today. Like, it's good to have Blaze on as well. I really wanted to get his impressions as well. Like, I'm really glad you were on because I wanted your thoughts on Wolverine X-Men Origins, right? Because you're actually playing it. You know, I can't even remember that fucking game.
He's streaming it.
Nobody did.
Nobody did. So I'm like, all these comments, and I'm like, okay, well, he's actually playing it. Let's get his thoughts. You said you fought the Sentinel 8 times. That's hilarious. But I was going to say, just quickly before we end up, someone in your comments said they sold their 5090 used for $5,000, and I think it's $5,300. Is that right, or is he bullshit?
That sounds right.
I believe it.
That sounds right.
I just
Holy
bought a
fuck.
5090 3 months ago, and I paid $3,700 plus tax, so I believe it.
Yeah, I'll say I believe it.
Hell. So the price of the card is almost the same as the fucking number.
Yeah,
Bro,
it's
go buy a fucking Honda. Go buy a Honda Civic, bro.
Well, you're getting your money's worth then, right? 5090, right? Yeah, that is accurate.
It's gonna cost you $5,090, bitch.
Yes, and that doesn't include anything else. Oh god!
And stream on NVIDIA GeForce because that's where they want to push you anyway. So
yeah,
crazy.
There's a lot of people that say that works. That's definitely a table for a different discussion. But Ledger, you're right on that. DS always a crowd favorite. So many people lined up outside the door before the show started.
I mean, I'm gonna say great panel, great chat. But for those console-only gamers in there, my GPU costs the same as your PS5 Pro, right?
Oh,
we are not on the same level. So for your console-only gamers, don't talk to me about graphics because you ain't seen path tracing for once in your life. You just got 60 FPS and you barely just got ray tracing. Right?
Death Singer.
So
how much is your house and how much is your car?
hang on, I'm fucking homeless. Hang on.
I always see people on like, I'm not talking about you, Dessing. I'm only messing. I always see like people flexing there, and I'm like, okay, but that's a medial cost in the grand scheme of things, right? How much is your mortgage?
Yeah, no, but I'm just flexing on them because they're telling me about. I don't know nothing about these graphics. And
No, I know.
Have you seen Cyberpunk with path tracing? No, you haven't. So, like, until you get on my level, console only peasant sit there.
I remember none of the PC believed the videos of Cyberpunk on PS5 Pro. They were like, nah, this is ray tracing, it's fake, it's the path trace version. Yeah, I remember that whole controversy.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, it's just funny because they.
But you know, though, my car backs up my GPU, brother.
Yes,
you know
I like that. I like that. I respect that.
Italian made, baby.
That's right. Amen.
Italian? What were you driving?
Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio. Don't look that up. Don't look that price up.
Don't look it up.
Actually,
but are we talking Quadrifoglio or like the?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh damn! Rear wheel drive.
Yeah,
nice.
we were talking about Blaze's car. I was just gonna say, real-time ray tracing debuted 2018 on PC. So you champion it in the chat. You're about a bunch of years late. Anyway, that's all technology. So enjoy your new technology for console peasants. But you know, it is what it is. Be happy with what you got. You know.
Now, DS, you got to give him credit. He starts the show exactly how he ends the show. That's all right. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think next gen, right, truly is going to be catastrophic for PC gamers because
I don't think
the PS6 could do path tracing and stuff. It's going to be fewer and fewer things they can really blow about.
Ray tracing was so fucking impressive. And then path tracing made ray tracing look so, ray tracing is so noisy compared to path tracing. Now it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's true.
No, I agree.
No,
that's why I think next gen I am actually interested, even though I'm gonna get raked over the ass buying it at expense. But
everybody is, buddy.
GPUs. They're not gonna make GPUs. You don't have to worry. They're gonna get people to go. They're gonna get people to stream it because they can make the money off subscriptions.
Actually, no, Glinza. I didn't build my own house. I built my own PC though. But yeah, I did build my own house. But yeah, you're half correct. But it's like,
wait, do Americans do that? Build their own houses?
No, they don't.
I was gonna say, man.
Absolutely
it's like
not.
Notebook out here. Or
absolutely not.
But then again, it's like go get yourself a PC and enjoy that path tracer because you're gonna have to wait for the PS6 for it. But then by the time that comes out, some new shit on PC will be out. So who knows?
Boy. This right here. So round and round and round we go. Let me give a couple shout outs real quick to the great Slow Mo Backslap. Slow Mo was here with us the first hour and 45 minutes. Shout out to Slow Mo. Always great to have him on the show. Brap is out there coaching, doing what Brap does. We'll hopefully see him back here sometime in 2026. You guys saw that I was advertising Porter Rock. Porter Rock wrote me about 25 minutes before we went live, and he was like, I hate to cancel on you, Mooch, but I can't make it. I'll be there next week. So listen, we got a word from Porter Rock. He will be here next Thursday night. Remember, guys, we're done with Wednesdays. We're back to Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern next Thursday. Come over and check out me and Blaze. If we could do Dusk Bloods tomorrow, we would, but I don't think they're letting us stream it. So we'll be on Saturday morning, 11 a.m. for our next installment over on Twitch.tv. Guys, please hit that like button on the way out, and we'll see you guys next Thursday. Go play some games. Enjoy yourself. Peace out. Good night.
Later, everyone. Thank you.